I don't even know your name. You call me Boozings?
Oh, you got a pee bag.
For when you're on the go. Yeah, life will go up.
Yeah, life will go up.
Life will go up.
Yay!
Thanks.
Good job.
Yeah. Daggers.
I kind of wish my life would go up.
Daggers.
Bubbles, watch over bones. They hurt really bad. They're made of water and soap. He gets in his eye. He's just like, oh god! I can't see where I'm going! Ah! And he falls off the edge. You ever hear the System of a Down version of
Oh yeah.
Link,
That's
he comes to town.
actually System of a Down.
No, what?
It's not actually System of a Down. I'm not even joking.
Who is it then?
Some random Armenian.
Are you serious?
I'm not even joking.
Oh, you gotta... No! It's the same, the Princess Zelda!
Can the put her away? Now the children don't play. Damn it! I hate those gold guys.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
I'd rather fight like 5 horses.
5 horses? I'd rather fight 5 horses than just one knight. Horses that will probably just die on their own. Welcome to Rolling Intentions. My name is Jason. Today we're revisiting Mouse Guard. It's been a year. Mouse Guard was actually the first game we played in our podcast. So it's sort of like, you know, after a year playing, even though... Oh yeah, I should introduce the other people. There are 2 new players here as well that haven't been on the podcast, and I played with them a little bit with the Dungeon World campaign.
Yeah.
And
I'm Scott.
And I'm Laura.
Great, and they're going to play Mouse Guard with us. And like I was saying before, is that it was sort of like the founding game for our podcast. It was our first game, so if you go back and listen to the audio for our first one, well, it's not so great. And people have been sort of asking us, hey, can you run another game now, right? And like sort of do a refresher because it's a popular game, right? Mm-hmm. So we're like, yeah, sure, you know, it'll be good. That's what we're going to do today. So we're going to go through character creation today, and probably a little bit of gameplay if we can get it in, and then we'll sequence through that and see where it leads. So, first thing with Mouse Guard, I don't know if you guys are too familiar with the world or not. Mouse Guard is based off a comic, and the comic is about little mice. Even though there's no humans in this world, so the mice are like the humans of the world, but they're smaller versions of humans.
Yeah, they're the anthropomorphic version.
Yeah, exactly, right? But everything else is not particularly. Like, there are certain bats that sort of have like they sort of talk in a bit of a dumb, like they repeat themselves and stuff. They can talk to mice, and there are like certain other beings like rabbits that sort of can talk to mice too, right? So there is a bit of a communication through interspecies, whatever.
Yeah.
But most of them are very much like you would suspect they would act. Like a snake would probably just want to eat mice and not really care. A wolf would just go around and be done and over with, right? So there is very much that, well, even though you guys are sort of micey and sort of human, the dangers are still out there. Not everything talks, so it's not like, I don't know, some people compare it to Redwall. I don't think that's the truth at all.
Oh no. You mean Brian Jacques Redwall?
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, and I compare it to The Secret of Nim. A little bit more so, because that's actually a little bit more true.
Yeah.
You don't have the humans, you know, but you have everything else that's dangerous.
No genetically engineered mice, but...
Yeah, well, we can consider these guys genetically engineered. How are they so smart, right? Who knows, right? But I'm just saying that it's a different world. It's a fantasy world.
Yeah, that's right.
Though, you know, everything is tiny. No, everything's big to these tiny people, right? So, I guess the first thing we should do is there is the guard's oath. Maybe we'll get everybody, both of you, to say the oath out.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'll say the oath and then you just repeat after. It kind of gives you the idea of what their guard is about, because you have to enter the guard. So like when you start off as a mouse guard. Unfortunately, that's a little linear. You can't really choose to be like, I'm a peasant, because you wouldn't have much of a role to do in the game, right? You can't be from a peasant, or like from a butcher's son or a butcher daughter or a shipbuilding son, or whatever. And we go into that detail because we do talk about your parents as we go through the thing. Yeah, you're all part of the guard, and the oath kind of gives out an idea of what it's about. So, repeat after me.
Okay.
We as guard offer all.
We as guard offer all.
That we are to protect the serenity.
That we are to protect the serenity.
Of our species, the freedom of our kin.
Of our species, the freedom of our kin.
And the honor of our ancestors.
And the honor of our ancestors.
With knowledge, sword, and shield, we do these deeds.
With knowledge, sword, and shield, we do these deeds.
Never putting alone mouse above all needs.
Never putting alone mouse above all needs.
Or the desire of self above another.
Or the desire of self above another.
We strive for no less than serve the greatest good.
We strive for no less than to serve the greatest good.
So with that oath, that's pretty much what they're about. So
beautiful.
Yeah, they are pretty much Jedi's.
Yeah, that's
Jedi's of the mouse world, right? They're not really neutral. They tend to be more good because they do kind of like give homage to the other towns and villages. But Lockhaven's like the center of the kingdom. But all the other villages have their own sort of ways. I guess mayorships, and they take care of their own, right? So. Even though Lockhaven's sort of like the mouse guard that kind of makes sure that there's order going on around the area, each town is like their own country. They all direct things differently, right? Sometimes guard mice are accepted. Sometimes they're not looked upon as being that friendly because they're probably not doing stuff, whatever, right? So there are shady things that probably happen in one town the guys don't want you to know, so they kind of try to get you out as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Right. Other times they welcome you, or maybe there's a big thing about to happen, or and you got to help everybody out in a good time. I don't know. Right?
Okay.
So the duties of a guard mouse generally is patrolling, pathfinding and clearing, trailblazing, delivering mail, escorting, weather watching, hunt predators, rescuing mice. So these are just things that you might end up doing. Okay. Maintaining the scent border. So the way that here's the map.
Does that mean that they just go and pee on their? No, it's not.
No. It is that kind of scent border, but but it's not they go and pee.
Okay.
So this is the map, and as you can see, Lockhaven is directly in the center here. These borders here. The only reason that they're borders is because there is a concoction that's developed by a Spruce Tuck group. They get this mixture of scent of different wolf scents and stuff, like predators, and they spread that along the border so that the wolves won't enter.
Oh, so the wolves, they trick the wolves into thinking that
there's predators here, right?
And then it's someone else's territory.
Yeah. Clever mice.
Yeah, and only I think this is a 1152. I think we're going to be playing in.
Okay.
It was only like 5 or 6 years ago that there was a great weasel war. So the weasels and mice actually fought into like this bloody war. And this is the old weasel territory over here. So this used to be more it used to be more of the mice territory, and the weasels came and took it over. So that's all the stuff that used to be areas. All the dark heather passes, because that's the ones that we look like the passes and stuff.
Oh.
Now, they don't really know who made all the underground passageways. It's hinted it might be humans because it's so high and so large, but they never ever say that. Because humans never come to this area. If they did, it would be a very short RPG.
Now, with that map, the scale, is that on mouse scale or is that on like?
Yeah, that's mouse scale. So these could be like a pond, like a small pond. Right?
Okay.
That's probably a lake, not an ocean.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So yeah, don't think of it as like this is like ocean stuff. Actually, it could be though, because this place right here in particular, if you look at one of the comic books, is a beach.
Okay.
Right, where he fights crabs. I don't know if you remember seeing that.
I just saw that.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, so that's that area right there. So he was on the beach fighting like crabs and stuff. So that could be actually a sea right there. But these could be like just like little ponds and stuff, right? But yeah, it is supposed to be on mouse scale.
Okay.
But these are like a couple of day trip. Like this would be like a full week or more to get down there type of deal. This is a big area. It's not small.
No.
It looks like the Grand Lake of Newfoundland.
Oh yeah.
If you've ever been out that way, the big lake that stretches down and all kinds of islands on it and everything, you know.
Yeah. Where's it located to?
On the West Coast.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Bay of Islands?
No, I'm talking about Grand Lake. Grand Lake goes.
Oh, Grand Lake. Oh, yeah.
Grand Lake goes from like probably I think down. Anyways, it's a really huge lake.
Oh, and of course, you know, regardless of the scale, there's a long way to go.
Yeah, play the game like you're a mouse, and I'll throw you obstacles, and you have to beat the obstacles.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's two different turns. There's the GM turn and the player turn. They usually are about equal in time. In this case, probably not because. Yeah, we'll see. The player's turn only lasts as long as the players have checks.
Okay.
And you get one check during the player turn. The checks are used for certain things, but we'll get into that when that comes.
Okay.
So first, we're gonna go through character creation.
All right.
So. Oh,
Is there style to their names?
Sort of is, but not really. They're usually names that are spelled differently.
I can't remember the names of any of the main characters in the comic.
There's Saxon and Kenzie and Sadie and Gwendolyn, that kind of stuff. Right?
Okay, so it's very Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, it could be a play on words on names too, right? Like there's a guy named, the Baron is another name, right? There's a lot of names, but yeah, so don't need to worry too much. Yeah, so since we're just playing with two people, it should be okay. It shouldn't take too long to make a character. We'll see. Alrighty, here we go. So I'm going to read from the beginning, as one would. So for the recruitment, that's basically what this is. All together now. When creating characters, read each step and its instructions out loud to the players. Take the process question by question. We do this by two ways. It's faster to create a full-fledged patrol rather than a collection of oddballs. So, concept. Before we think about a concept. What kind of mouse character do you want to play? A grizzled veteran, a young upstart, is something in between. What's his or her personality, and what is his or her specialty?
And I bet she's going to be from a rural area.
Okay, that works.
So
a young upstart that has a certain like feel for the weather. Like gets a weird tingle when the clouds start rolling in or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would go for the more middle-aged battle veteran of the Mouse Guard, who's more city.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So a veteran. So basically a young upstart and a grizzled veteran. Awesome. the examples.
Oh, okay. Alright.
That's funny. Alright. So what we do next is keep that in mind. We do guard rank next. So what level of experience or rank would you like to play? There are 5 ranks. There is of the Mouse Guard. There is the Tenderpaw, which is going to be probably the youngest. Tenderpaw is considered at 14 years.
Okay.
So don't forget, these are years. So these are actual full season years.
Okay.
So they do live to be like old.
Okay.
Not like 3 months or 2 years.
Or like with rats is like 8.
Yeah.
What was it, 8 years?
No, 2 years.
2 years? Oh, okay.
Generally,
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I've never had a rat. So.
That's why I wanted to get a rat. The
But
reason why I
they
didn't
die
want to
quick.
get one is because they die quick.
Yeah, like my gerbil. I mean, he's middle-aged now or older now. He's a year and a half. So. Yeah. Yeah. So Tenderpaw, Guard Mouse, Patrol Guard, Patrol Leader, and Guard Captain all have their benefits and drawbacks. Tenderpaws are fresh recruits. Guard Mice are the foot soldiers of the Guard. Patrol Guards are veteran Guard Mice responsible for complicated and independent missions. Patrol Leaders are Patrol Guard who have demonstrated they can think independently and guide other mice. Guard Captains are powerful mice appointed to the highest rank in the Guard due to their long-standing service and exemplary valor. We won't have any Guard Mice, just because it doesn't really fit. We usually only have a Guard Mice if we're going to start with a Guard Mice. If there's like a 5-player game, and we do something in the city, because generally Guard Mice kind of stick around guarding the fortress.
They guard, yeah.
Right? They're a little bit more, right? Like they deal with more about assaulting in wars. They focus more about like if there's like a wolf invasion, they'll be the ones to rally the troops and fight, rather than take independent missions and fight it out. Yeah,
they wouldn't be the ones going out to scout whether or not there is a wolf threat.
Right.
Okay.
That'll be you guys or something, right?
Yeah. That was more. That was closer to the second choice.
Well, there was the Patrol Leaders and there's Patrol Guard. Patrol Guards and Patrol Leaders can both fit in that sort of.
Oh, okay.
So the choices are Tenderpaw, Guard Mice, Patrol Guard, Patrol Leader, and Guard Captain. 2 leaders in a patrol. A group with 4 players, there can be 2 patrol leaders if the other 2 players wish to take on roles of Tenderpaw. So generally, a patrol leader takes a Tenderpaw as like a recruit.
That sounds like a good plan.
So that sounds like
patrol.
Sounds pretty good. So generally, you can be between the age of 14 and 17 for a Tenderpaw. Your will be 2. Your health will be 6. So low willpower, but very healthy.
Low willpower. Where do I write down will?
Will's over at the side over here. It's up here somewhere.
The second one down.
Will. Okay, so my will is 2.
Yeah, and your health is 6.
Okay.
Nature, mouse, and it's already checked out.
Yeah. For Patrol Leader, they have the best stats, I think. Patrol Leader can be between the age of have more responsibility. That's why.
Okay.
Between the age of 21 and 60, and they have 5 will and 4 health.
5 will. Underneath the P category or the?
No, just next to the will.
Oh, okay.
In the thing.
5 and 4.
Yeah, that's just how you level up.
Oh, okay.
The P is for pass, F is for fail. In order to advance, when you make a roll, you have to fail so many times, and you have to succeed so many times to level.
So it's the opposite of Dungeon World, where fails equal leveling.
Yeah, in this game, you have to pass and fail.
Okay.
So you have to succeed as many times.
Also, it's a prerequisite to fail as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
you have to succeed. I think it's the amount of. I'll find out. Give me a second, because it is interesting the way that you advance, and the way that you do it is by taking on things, so like you learn from your mistakes, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Advancements can be choose a skill. On the sheet there will be a series. On the character sheet, each skill has an ability, a series of bubbles right next to it. The row listed P and the other is F. This is pass and fails. You don't have to play these rules, but we recommend it. They make the game a bit more technical. We like technical games.
So it says in the book.
Yeah. An ability or score advances when you pass the number of tests equal to the current rating and fail the number of tests equal to less 1 than the rating. So if you have a 4, then passing 4 or more, and then failing 3 will give you we'll bump up that number by 1.
Okay.
Cool.
So constant passes are no good. So this game kind of says, do something heroic, even if it seems impossible.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So even though you probably have no chance of winning, I might give you like an odd 8, and you only have 6 dice to roll. Well, maybe you need that failure to go up, right? But the failure will mean consequences on the roll, right?
Because that's the oath we took.
That's right.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's the way adventure works. Okay. Good. So we got that done. So mouse nature. All characters have a mouse nature of 3. Answer the following questions to determine your final rating. The choices you make will limit your scores and traits choices later. Note some restrictions on your items of your character on the sheet below. So, I'm going to ask some questions. You think about your character for a second, and then answer. Do you save for winter, even if it means going without something new? Or do you use what you have when you need it? Do you save for winter, basically?
Yes, she's a saver for winter.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say yes as well.
So you both save for winter, even if it means going without? Okay, if you save for winter, increase your nature by 1. But you may not take the bold or generous trait. So when we go to traits, bold or generous cannot be something you take.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you start with 3 and then we're adding 1.
Okay.
So
3 on the pass.
We got some more yet.
Okay.
No, not pass. No.
Oh, sorry.
Your nature starts at 3, so 3 of 3. All right, 3.
Oh, 3 of 3. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And those numbers will change. Now you have 4 of 4 because you just went up by 1 because you answered that question.
Right. Okay.
All right, so both of you have 4 nature.
No, I think she's going to be more she's not going to be a saver.
No, more like kind of spontaneous.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Then nothing. You
I
get
didn't
nothing for that.
I didn't realize that was a fraction.
Yeah, it is.
There. Okay.
It is the way it works. It can replace any skill you don't have. So you can roll your nature anytime you want to, but when you if it's not a mousy nature, so underneath here it'll say like what if it's not the mousy things. I think it's like run, hide, climb, escape. I don't know if it's there. It's listed somewhere there. Nature is right here. Is it?
Resistance, unwise, teamwork.
Escaping, climbing, hiding, and foraging.
There we go. So if it's not one of those things.
It's on the first page there.
Yeah.
Where it says, just above skills, it says mouse nature can be used for.
Yeah, just above skills. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Now, you can use mouse nature for anything, including fighting or whatever. However, you automatically tax it by 1. So that's why there's a slash.
Oh.
And if you fail, you also lose the amount of nature equal to your failure. So if you fail by 3, you actually lose an additional 3 more nature.
So bring it down to 0.
Yeah, which is really bad.
Okay.
Anytime your nature hits 0, you get a negative trait. What nature is how mouse-like you are. So if your nature is 1, that means people look at you as more like a human. You know, you're sporadic. You're not mouse-like. You're not like us. You're an outsider. Generally, outsider is a trait you can get, like an outcast or an outlaw.
Okay.
And then 7 is you become so mouse-like that you hide and you become antisocial and kind of bury yourself away. You kind of chatter among other people, but you kind of, you hoard everything and you kind of keep to yourself away from everybody, right? Yeah. So, and then you get like a solitude sort of, or jaded, traits that if you get the 7. So you want to keep it between 1 and 7. You can always choose to reset your nature. So let's say if your nature is 3 and 1. You're like, oh crap, if my nature goes down by 1 more, I'm kind of screwed. So what you can do is you can erase 1 from the maximum and then reset your score. So you can erase your 3, bring it down to 2, and then you're 2 of 2.
Okay.
But nature advances just like everything else. So if it's a 2 of 2, and if you have more than 2 passes and 1 pass, then you go back up to 3. So you can balance it out. Right?
Okay.
Because it levels up just like everything else. Okay, so we got more questions yet. When confronted, do you stand your ground and fight, or run and hide?
Stand my ground and fight.
If you run and hide, increase your nature by 1. Decrease your fighting skill if you take it by 1. If you stand and fight, then nothing happens. But if you run and hide, you get an extra nature. But if you take the fighting skill, you have to spend an extra 1 to bring it up.
Which, of course, fleeing is more mouse-like.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you look at the 4 different things, I'm asking you questions basically about them, right?
Yeah, where are the 4 different things?
No, the running, escaping.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right, the questions are almost aligned with those.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's going to be a standard and fighter, too.
Okay, so that's fine.
Does that still make me 3-3?
You're still 4, you mean?
4.
Oh no, 3-3. Yes, because you didn't choose for the first one. Yeah, you're still 3-3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Nature doesn't really mean anything. It's not like hit points or anything like that. It's just basically alternatives. So if you need to use nature for whatever, and also nature can be used for, like I said, those 4 skills without tax, without being taxed. All right. Do you fear owls, weasels, and wolves?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
If you do, increase your nature by 1, but you may not take fearless as a trait.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
So what is fearless? What is?
You'll get these things called traits, and they're purely narrative. Well, not purely narrative. They have a mechanic involved. Traits can be used to get you out of sticky situations. A level 1 trait, by the way, these all can be level 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
A level 1 trait gives you an extra dice when you roll. You can be like, I burn it. You can also use a trait against yourself and gain checks.
Okay.
Checks are used to get things happen during the player turn. You get to do extra actions during the player turn.
Now you know I'm going to be fearless.
You think about being fearless? Yeah. Okay. And you're scared, so you get a +1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's your final score. So I guess everybody's at 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So the next thing is, where were you born? Choose a mouse, town, city, which your character's been born. Each city has its own culture represented by the skills and traits. There is Barkstone, a busy working-class town. There's Copperwood, one of the oldest cities and home to its 2 mines of the territories. Elmoss, once a prosperous city known for its medical moss. Ivorydale, renowned for its bakers of bread. Lockhaven, home of the Mouse Guard. Port Sumac, a busy little port town between Darkwater and Rustleaf. Sherrowborough, a simple town known for its delicious drinks. And Sprucetuck, known for its scientists and medicine and the scent concoctions.
I think Mom would be from the port town. She's good with weather.
Okay. That's good, because one of the skills is weather watching. So you get to choose one of these and write it down on your sheet. So is weather watching one of the ones that are already up there? In that list.
Weather Watcher is there.
Okay, yes.
But
So,
hang on, Jason.
yes.
How do you say that name again?
Port Sumac. So that's P-O-R-T,
Yeah.
and Sumac is S-U-M-A-C.
Okay. All right.
And the 2 skills you get to choose from is either Boatcrafter or Weather Watcher.
Weather Watcher.
Okay, so just put a 1 down on Weather Watcher. Oh, it's actually put a 2 down because you get technically you get a 1 anytime you choose it. So put a 2 on it.
Okay. With the rating?
Yeah, the rating's 2 right now.
Okay.
And the other thing is you get to pick a trait. You either get Tough or Weather Sense.
Ooh, weather sense.
Yeah, so I'll go through the traits real quick for you. Yeah. Weather Watcher and Weather Sense are 2 completely different things.
Oh, they are? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Weather Watcher allows you to actually, let's say it's the player's turn, and you have a check, and you say, I'm going to use this check to do Weather Watcher. I say, alright, that's an odd 4, because the weather, it's hard to tell right now, because you're in a thick foliage or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. And you succeed, you get to tell me what the weather is for the next session. Mm-hmm. That's sort of what it does. It lets you control the weather. Your character doesn't control the weather, but it predicts the weather. So what your character predicts is what happens. It's true. You can't do it during the same session, but you can. Say, for instance, you use Weather Watcher during the GM's turn. Then during the player's turn, that weather will happen. If you use it during the player's turn, then it will happen for the GM's turn. So it's sort of like a way to control weather so that it makes me have to come up with a different way of handling it, right? So if I had a weather conflict, then I wouldn't have that. Unless you guys made a failure where I can actually put a twist on it, and the weather could be one of the twists. But that's a different story. So that's what Weather Watcher is. Well, in a sense, Weather Watcher is a skill about spotting clouds, noting direction of the wind, and detecting the amount of moisture in the air. Uses weather is a very powerful skill. Weather Watcher may test to determine the weather. If he's successful, he determines the weather for the next leg of the journey. The Weather Watcher must make a versus test if it's against the season, right? So, each season has its own dice pool. So if you try to determine what the weather is during winter, you're going against winter, which is 7 dice. So I get to roll 7 dice versus your Weather Watcher. And whoever has the most succeeds wins. Right? And if the player wins, he can predict what the next change in the weather is. Will bring, he may choose a seasonal option given from seasons. So there's a portion of this chapter called Seasons. I hand you the book and you tell me you pick one of those things that can happen during the season, and that's what's going to happen during next session. Or not next session, but the next flip of the coin, right? Yeah. Now, Weather Sense, which is not a skill, it's a trait. And traits work a little differently. They don't. I mean, they can help you and hinder you. So, traits. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. There are 3 levels of traits. The first time you choose a trait, it's level 1. If you choose a trait again, it becomes level 2. If you choose a trait a third time, it becomes level 3. Level 1 trait gives you a +1 dice when you when it's relevant, but you only can use it once per session. A level 2 trait, you can get a +1 dice every single time that it comes up that it's relevant. So you keep getting an extra dice if you keep bringing Weather Sense into it, for instance, right? And level 3 dice, and by the way, you can't downgrade once you level them up. A level 3 dice is you take all the failures and reroll them. But you can only do that once per session. So, that is the better one, even though people think level 2 traits better. But taking all your failures and rerolling them, that's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a 50-50 chance for all getting successful again.
Yeah, that's right.
So, right. Weather Sense and Tough. A little background music. Hooray! Alright. Weather Sense. Some mice are born with an intimate sense of weather. Others learn through the experience they feel it in their bones. Of course, when you can accurately predict the weather, everybody else blames you when it rains. So,
you're basically a meteorologist.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So that's fine. You can choose that as your thing. I'm going to read it tough in a second, but these traits are supposed to be a helpful way and hindrance.
Okay.
When they are a hindrance, you get a bonus for it. Okay. When you make trouble because of this, like for instance, if there's ways to make trouble basically, and I'll bring it up as we go. You get what's called player checks, and let you do stuff through the player's turn. Tough is the other one. Some mice are built tougher than others. They're better at coping with injury and sickness, but this quality also leads to certain hubris. They're vulnerable to other mice who plays into their strengths. So they're basically, I am great, ain't I?
That's not her.
Alright, so maybe you should choose Weather Sense.
Okay.
Good. Any of those towns that were good for you?
Where do I write down Weather Sense?
Oh, it's in traits. So right here is traits.
Yeah.
And you check off the first little dot, which is not really check it off. Or wait.
You're right in Weather Sense?
Yeah, you level 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you check it off, but don't check off that you used it. Because if you notice over on the other side, it says I use this trait. So just check off the level 1. Okay. So there are Barkstone, Copperwood, Elmas, Agridale. Any particular thing you're going for? Because I can bring it up here. Because they all have certain skills. I can tell you what each of the skills are, but...
Sure, I was thinking more like a more martial type figure.
Like an armorer, or... a weaver? Guard's honor? Or is he more?
Oh, maybe that's the wrong... Sorry?
Oh yeah, maybe I'm not understanding. Hard worker, maybe?
Maybe that's the wrong word. More like a ranger.
More like a ranger?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll give you an option here. Let's see here. A ranger. So like something like a hunter or something sort of like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody starts with hunting. There's harvester and baker for Everydale, hard worker. There's carpenter and harvester, smith and haggler, carpenter, potter, and glazier, steady paw, independent, alerts. Any of these sound anything like your character? Generous, guard's honor, tough, weather sense, open-minded, inquisitive, rational.
I'm thinking more like... What about Lockhaven? What would that...
Lockhaven gives you either one skill, either weaver or armor. And the trait says generous and guards on honor.
What would the armor accomplish? What would he be capable of?
Let me just make sure. Armor. Armors forge armor and weapons for the guard in town militias. Armors can provide supplies from insectrists, smiths, and weavers. Factors. Armors use special factors in order to build certain items. Paw to paw. Count starting at 1. They can make short and quick, useful, deadly, versatile, hooked, and hard to defend. Spears and missiles. Spears are thrown, missiles. Armor and shields start counting at 2. So, if the armor fails, the GM may add 1, 2, or of the following conditions: clumsy, which is -1 to defend. This is basically stuff I would add to the armor that you failed with, right?
Okay.
Heavy, -1 to health tests. For fatigued, slow, -1 to defend or feint. Cumbersome, -1 to maneuver. And -1 to attempt to sneak or hide. So, armor, basically, you make stuff.
Yeah.
But, Scott, based on what you said earlier, are you looking to make kind of like an old soldier?
Yeah, kind of keeping in line with the patrol leader, or somebody who's...
So all this means is like where he's from, right?
Right.
When you start defining him, there's all of this left to go yet to see what you're actually going to do.
Okay, what is the what do you think would be the most hard-nosed of the cities?
Ooh, well, Lockhaven's pretty hard-nosed, but they're very much honorable, right? Copperwood is pretty bad too, because they're a mining company, they're a mining town, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking more along the lines of a place where, given the oath, the morality is not really at the level where if I stayed there, it would be something that I would be able to aspire above by becoming a part of the Mouse Guard.
Barkstone was probably pretty decent. Barkstone was the one where all the bad stuff happened in the first comic.
Yes.
Where the mouse with the axe was leading the army and stuff. They're a busy working class town, so they're very much class oriented. So if you were born on a low end class, you probably were never going to get anywhere.
Okay, I'll pick Barkstone.
So they're a carpenter.
Sounds like Corner Brook. Yes.
Carpenter, porter, or glazier.
Just briefly define
glazier.
Yeah.
I think they're glassmakers.
Glazier. Okay, yes, that's right. And what were the other two?
The other one's carpenter and potter.
Carpenter. sounds interesting.
Yeah. Sure, carpenter.
Yeah. Because, I mean, then, if you get into woodworking, then you'd be able to make...
You make all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, like
Catapults.
bows. Yeah.
Catapults, buildings. Yeah. So, go ahead and write down carpenter as one of your skills. Yeah, it's in skill list. So, if it's not written here already, you gotta write it underneath.
I don't see it.
Okay, just write it underneath.
Another one of these?
Yep. And put a 2 next to it. Normally, it just tells you to put a check mark on it, but I already know what your numbers are going to end up being.
Oh, okay.
So put a 2 on there. Okay. Every time you pick carpenter, your carpenter skill will go up by 1.
Okay.
But it goes up at 2 for the first time you pick something new. And then you pick steady paw is your only other trait. Okay. So your trait is steady paw, and I'll tell you what steady paw is. Probably good for you. Steady paw. The steady paws of Barkstone come with a tradition of skilled labor in the city, specifically and specifically smiths. Apparently, some smiths value their hands so highly that they take it out insurance policies with local banks. So
Turner.
you have like the hands of like you have like the hands that can build anything.
Oh, okay.
Basically, right? You have steady hands.
That's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It adds a little side note to your guy, right? He does not really exactly that's what he is, but that's what the people are known for in the town, so you've developed that.
Yeah.
Right.
And obviously a lot of pride comes with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more left to go yet. So that's just where you're born. Let's go to life experiences. Life experiences. You will be given a number of choices in each choice in these sections. Each time you choose a skill, check it off and note it in your character sheet. Basically, anytime you choose something, if it's not new, add 1 to it. If it's new, it starts at 2.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll continue on. Right, anytime you do multiple choices of the same one, just increase it by 1. Choosing skills. The character sheet lists a number of skills that are most common to the guard mice, so the ones that are pre-written. Your character probably won't start with these ratings all of those skills, but most likely you'll focus on a handful of them. That's okay. You'll learn the others as you play, relying on your patrol mates to pick up your slack. So, if you want to choose a skill that's not listed on your sheet, write it in the available space and place the appropriate number of check marks next to it. 1, 2, or 3, or whatever. Pick an area which you've naturally talented. Tinderpaws and guard mice choose 2. Guard mice, patrol guards, and patrol leaders to choose 1. So, Tinderpaws get to choose 2 from this list.
Okay.
You only get to choose 1.
Okay. From the list of skills.
From these.
Oh, those right there. Okay.
So, they are, I can read them out. Administration, apiarist, archivist, armorer, baker, boatcrafter, brewer, carpenter, cartographer, cook, deceiver, fighter. If any of these perk up or anything, just say, I'll take that one, right? Just write it down. Glazier, haggler, harvester, healer, hunter, insectress, yeah. Instructor. If you have a question, just ask to. Laborer, lore mouse, militarist.
What's Lore Mouse?
Lore mouse? It's basically, you're more wiser. If you need information, you can use the lore mouse ability to help you out. To give you the exact thing here, it's best if I read it out. They have pretty good definitions of it, so. Okay, lore mouse. Lore mice study the ways of habits of animals. Using their knowledge, they can perform rudimentary communications to discern the nature of an animal. So, you might be able to communicate to other species and whatnot. Communication. Beasts of the feather and of fur, scaly beasts, and beasts of water. Start counting at 2. So, start counting at 2 means your ob starts at 2 plus whatever other complications may arise, right? Nature. You may read the aspects of a creature using lore mouse skill. Make a versus test between the lore mouse and the creature's nature. Success indicates the GM informs the lore mouse of the aspects of that creature's nature. So you'll be able to sort of read on the intentions of what it's doing. If it's hungry, if it's just protecting babies.
Okay. Okay. And what did it say about fighter?
Oh, fighter. That's almost self-explanatory. Mice are not natural-born fighters. The fighter skill teaches them to overcome their natural inhabitants so they can capture, disable, or even kill an opponent, using their bare paws or any other variety of weapons available. Fighter factors. Fighters use in versus tests against one another using nature or fighter skill. It can also be used in certain conflicts for independent actions.
Okay, could you, alright, go on with that list now?
Sure.
I don't really have my mind made up.
No problem. There's Miller, Orator, Pathfinder, Persuader, Potter, Scientist, Scout, Smith, Stonemason, Survivalist, Weather Watcher, and Weaver.
Okay, survivalist?
Survivalist? You want to know what that does? So I'm assuming it's just like surviving in the wilderness, I think. Survivalists know how to make shelters, find water, and build fires and jury-rig tools. This skill also has a special condition attached to it. A mouse with the skill cannot be made angry due to failed survival tests. Survivalist factors: action, making a shelter, locating water, starting a fire, conditions, emergency tool making, jury rigging a boat. And one mouse to patrol and large group area. So it's the different factors that you can help out. The difficulty would raise by 1. So this would be, so basically when I look at these, one mouse is usually like a difficulty of like 2, and it's like 3, 4, and it goes up based on difficulty, generally speaking.
Okay.
That's what survivalist is.
Can I just see the list?
Oh, see the list, yeah. It's that big list on the side.
Weather Watcher, Survivalist, Stonemason, Smith, Scout.
Yeah, Scout is actually, you're actually scouting out something. So, when you narrate or how you're going to do something, Scout usually indicates you're chasing after somebody, or you are literally putting yourself in danger to find out what's going on. You're scouting around, right? Pathfinding is actually making a path. So during like spring and such, which is probably where we're going to start in spring, a path might need to be made in order to get to your next location. So pathfinding is something that allows you to cut down, find out where you're going to.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask about Pathfinder and Scout and also Hunter.
Hunter can be used as fighter if you're fighting animals.
Okay.
But it is as it is. It's about hunting for food. Also hunting for creatures like wolves and anything that's not mice.
Right.
Generally, mice and weasels are their own conflict, which use fighter. But you can use fighter instead of hunter in most of those cases.
Okay.
Just that hunter has a little extra versatility of allowing you to track down somebody, track down food or something.
Oh, okay.
I think that I'm going to choose Survivalist Survivalist and Weather Watcher, because I think that I'm going to have my character that she was like a kind of a street urchin in the town where she's from, which would have been like the harbor town.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. So just add 1 to your Weather Watcher, and then start your Survivalist at 2.
Okay.
And what do we do? Did you want to live this?
I
only got 1 to choose.
Hunter sounds pretty
good.
Pretty versatile. Yeah.
Let me bring up Hunter just so that so that I can give you the lowdown. The Hunter is an intrepid mouse who journeys out into the wild and confronts animals. Grazers, scavengers, and even predators. He uses his skill and cunning to stalk, trap, drive off, and kill his quarry. Hunter focuses. Hunter is used in versus tests against nature or independent tests of conflicts fighting animals. Hunter can also be used to find information about an animal where it eats, what it eats, and what its weapons are. Habits, you can also find out trails, food, prey, and weapons and nests. So these are the things you can find out with Hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So how many?
So you start with 2.
2.
Anytime you take a new one, you start at 2.
Oh, okay.
And you bring it up by choosing the same thing and adding 1 to it.
Okay.
Any of you chose the any of you choose the, what was the one that had the -1 fighter? Or did you, neither of you chose that, right?
Which one?
The one where it's, do you stand and fight? You both said stand and fight, right?
I said stand and fight.
Okay, good. So sure, because if you chose fighter, you have to start as a fighter of 1 instead of a fighter of 2.
Oh, okay.
In that case, because...
If you chose the stand and fight.
Yeah, you get a -1, right? Alrighty. Alright, so we got that done. So that was what you're naturally talented in. Next is, what is your parents' trade? Tinderpaws choose 2, all other mice choose 1. Also note this skill next to your parents on the character sheet. So these are the following ones. Aprist, Archivist, Armorer, Baker, Bowcrafter, Brewer, Carpenter, Cartographer, Glazier, Harvester, Insectress, Miller, Potter, Smith, Stonemason, and Weaver.
So this is stuff that they've passed on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to choose 2.
Oh, 2 of them?
Not you.
Oh.
Sorry. She gets to choose 2, you get to choose 1. Don't worry, you'll get your What's Force at the end.
Okay.
You get like a shitload of like very focused skills, where she gets a whole bunch of skills from a different genre that you don't get to choose from.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there...
Yeah, what were you looking for in particular?
Well, I was either interested in the brewer one, but
Yeah.
also is there a sailor one?
Bowcrafter. Bowcrafter lets you,
Yeah, that goes kind of...
yeah, Bowcrafter lets you guide boats too, I'm pretty sure. So let me just check it out here. Bowcrafter. A bowcrafter specializes in all things boats. He can make a variety of craft from leaves to broken planks, to wooden planks of boats. So you can make a leaf boat or even a wooden boat if you want. He can also use his knowledge to navigate the waterways. Bowcrafters use supplies like carpenters or hunters for skins, or they can be more durable craft.
Okay, yeah, alright. So she's not a merchant, she's actually boats.
Alright, there you go.
So
are you taking both points in that?
Yep.
Alright, so you just put down Bowcrafter up on next to your parents. We'll come up with a name with them at the end. So, and then just put your Bowcrafter at 3, I guess, because you started at 2 and you added 1, right?
Okay.
Just quickly run down the list again.
Sure, you get to choose 1.
Okay.
It's Aprist, which is like a bee person.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They use bees. Bees in this role, they're like falcons and...
Yeah, I dare say.
Yeah, like... Send a falcon, right? Send a bee. So they use little bees to kick. That's
Release
just
the bees.
That's hilarious.
They also use cockroaches too.
Ew.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not hilarious.
No, but they use bees most of the time.
They'll survive anything.
Also, there is a beehive at Lake Haven.
Copperwood?
Like Lock Haven.
Okay.
And they use it to they gather honey and stuff too.
Right.
But they also, if there's an attack, they release the bees. So the bees go and attack the
Fend
enemies.
them off.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So that's Aprist. Archivist, Armorer, Baker. Bowcrafter, Brewer.
What do you brew? Exactly.
Well, there are taverns in this game. In fact, I think one of the whole stories in a tavern. But I think you actually have other things more mechanically correct. Oh wow, he stopped. That's amazing. The brewer is always a popular mouse. He makes beer for towns to drink, and in some towns, water is not good to drink, so there is beer.
Okay.
A brewer can use ground grains from a miller and honey from an apiarist as supplies. They make brew, and
Okay,
they
so-
make very good tasting drinks, basically.
Oh, okay, so it's not vaguely defined at all.
But that makes
It's very
sense.
specific about what they brew.
Yeah, the typical brew, good brew, excellent brew. There's 3 different qualities you can have.
Okay.
you could do a group, a tavern, a restaurant, or a town. If you want to make an excellent brew for a tavern, it's knob 5.
Oh, okay.
But that makes everybody happy, though. It'll settle any arguments that might happen.
Mm-hmm.
Good for a bribe.
I'm not sure if my character would
Settle for the brewing?
Would shy away from.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
You're thinking more of like the making medicine and stuff.
Yeah.
That's more like scientist.
Okay. Is that it? Was
it's
that
not an option?
Ah. Okay.
Scientist was your previous list. This is more like hobbies and stuff.
Okay. Well, hunter makes more sense anyway than.
Yeah, carpenter, cartographer, glazier, harvester, insectorist.
Oh, what about harvester?
Harvester? They're interesting.
Is it a harvester of sorrow?
Harvester of sorrow.
My weapon is a scythe.
Harvesters are very important to the towns and cities of territories. These mice make forays into wilds to gather grain, seeds, roots, herbs, and other necessities. Harvesters can use jars made by potters to store their finds and preserve them from spoilage. These clay pots count as supplies. Basically, based on it's harder in the winter, of course, to gather stuff than it is in summer.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was a famine going on, you could probably go into the forest and come back with food.
Yeah, and collecting as much hard to get stuff as possible. Would...
Yeah, extreme conditions like a flood and stuff and a drought, right? So these are all be the hooray hero.
Okay, that's a possibility. Just finish the list before I make up.
Insectress. That's basically the same thing as apris for insects. You can basically farm insects like they're like livestock.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Miller, potter, smith, stonemason, and weaver. No, that's Miller beer. Miller.
Oh, sorry. Yes, and Miller makes grain, doesn't he? Yes.
I'm gonna take harvester.
Sure.
Yep.
Cool.
So I gotta add that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. So your parents, they were harvesters.
And that's an automatic too.
Yep. And then you put harvester next to your parents.
Okay.
Her parents were harvesters. All right, next. How do you convince people to get what you need? There are 3 ways of doing so. Patrol leaders and guard captains choose 2. All others choose 1. So you guys only get to choose 1 because I think you're a patrol leader, aren't you?
I'm patrol leader. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to choose 2. You can either choose 2 of the same or 2 different ones. Up to you. You have deceiver, orator, or persuader. Deceiver is basically you know how to be cunning through words, sort of a lie and obtusify things to make things not half truth or blatant lies, but you can make it believable.
Yeah.
Orator is basically being up in front of people and doing like a show to get people's attention and to persuade a crowd your way. A persuader is like more of an individual, and you can persuade them to do what you want, but in a way that's honest.
Okay.
Persuader.
So if I choose 2, then it's 1 each.
1 each or both the same, it's up to you. You can choose deceiver twice, orator twice, persuader twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm gonna go for diversity and pick deceiver and persuader.
Okay, sure. Whenever. So you've lied once before. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So you take 2 on each.
Yeah. How many?
2 on each.
2 on each. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do I take?
You get 2 on whatever one you chose.
Yes, deceiver only for a good cause, of course.
Anytime you open up a skill, it's 2. Anytime that you proceed to upgrade it, it's
Okay.
It's
okay. So I don't have to. We don't have to take any losses if we get to pick more than 2. It's just a part of who we are. Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you open up a brand new one, it starts at 2, and then every additional time you put it in there, it's just an extra 1 added on.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
With whom did you apprentice with the guard? What was that mouse's trade? A young mouse seeking to join the guard applies either in the spring or fall. They must meet with a guard mouse in charge of new recruits, and are welcome to Lockhaven. These raw recruits are described among the various distributed among the various trade mice in Lockhaven and act as assistants, laborers, and apprentices. For the first 2 seasons of service, they are sent to senior artisans in their capability to see what material needs of the guard. So check out the skill list below, and I'll tell you what the skill is, and then write the trade next to your senior artisan.
Okay.
Keep in mind, these people that you're putting in there are actually people that will help you throughout the game.
Okay.
These are like little extra NPCs that kind of help you.
Okay.
I think, yeah, alright, so you get to choose one of the following, and I think it's pretty much the same list as before. So apiarist, yeah, so each of you get to choose one. Apiarist, archivist, armorer, baker, brewer, carpenter, cartographer, same list as before. Glazier, harvester, insectress, miller, parter, smith, stonemason, weaver.
Is there a cartographer?
No, cartographer was, oh yeah, cartographer is there, yes. Cartographer is there.
What's this?
It's a map maker.
Yeah, it is map maker, yeah.
Map maker. Cartographers.
Yeah.
I know what a cartographer is.
Yeah, they are map makers. They a lot of the cartographers are usually sent out to sort of map unknown areas, or if things have changed. So let's just say the map says, "Oh, look, there should be a town here," but there's no town here anymore. They might adjust the maps or whatnot, right? But in mechanical terms, a carpenter makes useful items out of. Sorry, that's not it. A cartographer creates and interprets maps. So if you found like a map or something like that too, we can. Supplies of water and miller's ink for scientists. Cartographers can make a simple map, detailed map, or an accurate map. Information can be personally surveyed, right up until information transcribed by word of mouth. So you can actually build maps based on how people describe things as well. So someone says, "Oh, you just need to go down there, take a right turn, and then take another left at the lights, and then take a left at the bank," and you can actually draw an accurate map.
Okay.
Go down the street and turn left at the little red house.
Yeah.
Can I see the list again?
Sure. Yeah. It is this list right next to my thumb.
Okay.
But it's the same list as before.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what does the archivist do?
They're like the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be keeping track of information, be able to research. I think it's mostly like coming up with. I'll find out in a second, but I'm thinking it's pretty much like someone who can research stuff.
Carpenter will probably make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll find out what archive is.
If her father was a boat builder,
Yeah.
then it would make sense for her to go to carpenter.
Yeah, you'd be distributed out. So it's basically, what do you think the mouse jar needed at the time? Do you think they needed a carpenter, and why? So basically, you could say, well, they needed a carpenter because they had a big storm and one of the buildings fell down, so they needed help building up the shacks or whatnot, like that, right? But yeah, that works too. You say carpenter, and that's basically why, right?
Or no, I think I would go with cartographer in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yes, because they need to send a map out the wilds.
Oh, okay.
And
so you were mapping out the wilds with another person.
yes, and she joined the adventure.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So cartographer would be what you put up on our senior artisan.
Yeah.
And also you get that skill, and it starts at 2 if you don't have it. Archivist. An archivist is the mouse who specializes in writing accounts for events of historical records. They are also good at plummeting into the depths of the archives libraries for information. An archivist can be provided with simple tools from form of paper from millers, and ink from ink from insectress. Yeah, so basically they are very good at researching.
Okay.
And storing archives. So you probably would have a book you write in, like a journal, and you set the transcribe later.
Yeah. And I would think that if the mouse guard encountered any type of new threat, they would want to know as much about it as possible.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Whether it was ancient or...
Well, archivist hunter would be pretty good if it's in that case.
Yeah.
Because it'd be...
Gather as much information about my quarry as possible.
Yep.
I'm going to pick that, archivist.
Archivist, cool.
And I put that by my senior artisan?
Yep. So, at the time, I guess they needed a lot of help in the library. Any particular reason why? Was it because of that very reason that they needed to actually write down some new information? What kind of new threat was involved?
Oh, I know exactly what it was.
What's that?
It was during the Weasel War. They wanted to They wanted to find as much as they could with the weasels, but also they wanted to map out the territories in the weasel territory on archivists, get people in the libraries to collect
weasels. Sure, that makes sense. So the other thing is, what did your mentor stress in training? So after the apprenticeship, the recruit's assigned to a mentor. Now in this case, I think something special happens. This guard mouse slowly introduced you to the Tinderpaw, to patrolling and other duties. The Tinderpaw's job is to do labor and grunt work so that the mentor's paw and mind are free from dangers of an encounter. So basically, you become a squire. Essentially, it's what you are, a squire, right? For a period. After a few seasons, the mentor will say, "Hey, you accomplished it to Gwendolyn, and you'll get a promotion to full guard mouse status." I'm thinking Gwendolyn. Like Gwendolyn is like the ruler of the Lockhaven of the guard mice, right? And I'm thinking like all the mice are named Gwendolyn. So I think it's like she has a kid, and then she names all this
like
Gwendolyn,
Mary and Joseph,
and then they just continue on, and it's a total female. Like they always have a female as the leader, for whatever reason. And I think that's how it goes on, because it's always Gwendolyn is the person.
It's sort of like the royal family keeping certain names within the family.
Continue on. It is the mentor's role to train and recruit what he sees fit. Some mentors may have rigorous training methods, some other requirements than others. Some may focus on different aspects of the guard life. Some may emphasize weather watching as one of the most important ways to stay free of danger. Others may say focus on fighting. Some may stress scouting and pathfinding. Each guard mouse is trained with a mentor. Tinderpaws and patrol leaders choose one. Tinderpaws and patrol leaders choose two. All others choose one. So you both get to choose two.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to read ahead a little bit, because I think this is where something special happens later on, but it's not clear. Who is your mentor? In the case of Tinderpaws, this must be a current player character, preferably a patrol leader. So the mentor has to be him. So your mentor is him.
That's right.
So
you pay attention.
So what skills are you going to impart onto me?
You don't choose for her. She gets to choose.
Right.
But you get to. But basically, you get to choose. But you should. Not saying you have to. But you could choose. Well, I'll name it in a second. There's not very many there. Between these ones, basically, if you choose something that he doesn't have, then it doesn't make a lot of sense. You can do it, because you can say that basically, well, I disobeyed a lot, and then I used to run off and do my own thing.
No, she's not that kind of character. She's a good little.
Okay, so here's the two you get to choose from. So both you get to choose two. Lucky you guys. Fighter, healer, hunter. Oh, actually, it's written on your sheet already. It's all the ones that are underneath fighter.
Fighter, healer, hunter, instructor, pathfinder, scout, survivalist, and weather watcher.
Correct.
Could I pick hunter, Scott?
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yep, you can pick it up twice if you want to.
Yeah.
But if you choose a new one, it's two, and then any additional is plus one.
Okay.
Being very versatile is good, but you also kind of want to specialize in something.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll definitely pick hunter again.
Sure.
So if I pick it twice, then it's 3?
It's 3.
Okay.
It goes for the same thing with unlock. When you actually unlock a new skill, it starts off at 2.
Okay.
So it's always like that.
What exactly does an instructor...
Instructors are interesting. So, well, obviously they teach other mice stuff, but it's interesting because we get an interesting mechanic going on between you two, because one is a guard mouse and the other one's or a guard leader and the other one's a Tinderpaw. You guys already know each other fairly well because she's a squire for a period of time.
Yeah.
Right. And she still is actually. She doesn't have her cloak. She's a cloakless Tinderpaw.
Oh, okay.
You have a cloak, and the cloak does actually mean something. We'll go to that.
Yeah.
Instructor knows how to transmit skills to another character. Using this skill, you can give your student a test or an advancement. You must have a skill that you're teaching higher ranking than your student. So if you have something, let's say Hunter, your hunter's higher than hers, then you can roll your instructor during like a period that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And if you succeed, you can give her a pass or a fail.
Okay.
On her instructor, like on her checkoff. Basically, you're helping other people advance. Yeah.
Don't go where?
With the instructor thing.
Why? What?
Because I'm going to get into a tiff if you fail my.
Well, if you need failures to actually progress.
You do need. Look,
No, but I
you
don't
must.
want them-
You
I
must
don't
fall from
want
the
them
proverbial
coming-
horse.
I don't want them coming from
A couple
you.
of times. It won't be coming from me. It will be coming from my character.
Yes, but still.
Narratively, it makes sense. From what I look. He's got all this knowledge accumulated, not only from his experience in the wild, but also from
Okay.
his intellectual value.
Okay, go on.
Yep, I'm gonna pick it. Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
So the way that the obstacle is equal to the current nature value of the student. So your nature's what, 3 or 4?
4.
Yeah. So if your nature happens to go down to 2 because you act or something like that, then your obstacle's like 2.
Yeah.
Because she's more human-like, so she picks up on things more easier.
Oh, okay.
Right? But in the same sense, that's a detriment in itself. By the way, if your nature ever hits 0 completely, or 7 in total,
Right.
I think you lose your character, so watch out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could always rebel against me, you know, it's not.
Okay. Like, by 0, I mean, like you went, you kept on refreshing it to the point when it's 0. Watch you for that. Keep it balanced. Okay. So, so you can go ahead and put that up there, I guess, if you want to. It doesn't say to actually. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to put the thing up on your mentor. Mentor will have a different name. What kind of experiences? Well, except for hers. Hers is going to be your name. So
Oh, right, okay.
you get a different mentor now.
That's my name.
What kind of experience do you have in the guard? All guard
Is that a
mice.
thing? A phalanx?
Phalanx, yeah.
What is
Phalanx, yeah.
Phalanx.
Phalanx is a phalanx is a troop actually. It's an Egyptian. Phalanx is a swordsman. Greek, Roman.
Yeah.
It's a Roman. Yeah,
Or
it's
is
a
it
Roman
Greek?
swordsman. It's phalanx.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually use sword and shield.
That works really well.
Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah, they're also known as like the most deadliest of warriors of Rom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I might be wrong, podcast people, but hey, if you know the answer, comment below.
Regardless, my parents had high hopes.
Oh, I bet they did. How's your fighter coming along?
He's out gathering flowers right now.
Nice. As a guard, all guards have trained experiences, blah blah blah. Here we go. This is basically your experience within the guard. Tender paws get to choose 3 from this list. Guard mice get to choose 6. Patrol guard gets to choose 8. Patrol leader chooses 9. So it is
Gloves are coming up.
all of those on that list there again.
Okay.
Right? Plus there's an additional one for based on what you are.
Okay.
So don't forget, Tenderpaws get 3. Tenderpaws may also consider laborer as part of the list above. Other than these that are over here on your left-hand side,
Okay.
you can also choose laborer. And laborer, and I'll give you yours in a second.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. I actually like laborer, but it is kind of a silly one. But it works though.
How high can these ratings go?
They can go up to 10, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, or 9.
9 is the capital.
Yeah. No, I think 10 is actually, but 10 basically means you're going to win at whatever you're doing.
Right.
True that, right? I'm gonna do Libra. Okay, labor. Laborers are the bulk of the workforce of the most towns and cities. They gather wood, carpenter's stone, They gather wood for carpenters, stone for masons, metal for smiths. They dig ditches and carry stuff, and generally do what they're told. Laborers need tools from a smith. They can do all sorts of things. They can gather materials for all skill-based things. So, if, let's say, a carpenter needs wood, you have no problem gathering the wood for them. Like, it's easy to get. You can go ahead and gather the stuff.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, if they need ore, then you can go find ore and gather that stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you supply the needs. You supply the needs for the individual. It's a very cool skill. So.
And I'm mixed up between Scout and Pathfinder.
Scout and Pathfinder. Oh, Scout. Okay, let me just. Yeah, because these two are very similar, but they are entirely different. Like, they sound similar. A scout is adept at scouting predators, prowl, sneaking around, trailing targets, and finding hidden things. Scouts is most always used for a versus test, usually against someone's nature or a scout versus scouts.
Okay.
So, usually chasing somebody.
Okay.
Pathfinder. A Pathfinder makes marks and paths in between mouse towns and cities to various resources and landmarks like streams, springs, lakes, and herbs. Pathfinder's skill is one of the most important skills. Pathfinding can be used. Pathfinders can use maps for cartographers as supplies. Supplies means you get a bonus when you're using it. Trying to arrive to a destination before another group, a patrol requires a versus test in order to determine the location. So if you're traveling from one town to another, you have to make a pathfinding test.
Okay. Okay, so she's Pathfinder.
Not always, but
Laborer
usually.
and fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Cool.
Okay.
Did you choose yours as well?
What's my additional? Because it said
Right.
I can choose 9.
You do. You get to choose 9 from that little list there. Plus, patrol leaders also get to choose Persuader or Lore Mouse.
Lore Mouse. Did you?
Yeah, Lore Mouse is the one about this general knowledge. Just read it a second ago. Let's see. Lore Mice. Lore Mice study the ways and habits of animals. Using their knowledge, they can perform rudimentary communications to discern the nature of the animal. So they can communicate with beasts of feathers, beasts of fur, scaly beasts, and beasts of water. You can also read the aspects of a creature's rating with skill, so you know what their nature is. So if you're like, I don't know if we want to fight that, I don't know what the nature is. Oh, it's got a 6 nature? Oh, that's shitty, because nature in this game, like anything that's not a mouse, well, their nature is rolled for everything. So whether I sneak, bite, run, hide, whatever it does, it gets what's nature roll. If it's like 8 dice, then it's really tough.
You know what? I do like that one. So it's Lore Mice or Lore Mouse?
Lore Mouse. You can take as many times as you want.
Okay.
And of course, it starts off at 2. And then you got a whole bunch of points to distribute there now.
I don't want to put everything into Hunter. But if that's going to be a specialty.
Yeah, you can put as much as you want in there.
Okay. From experience, what's a good high number? No?
5's pretty good.
5's pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
4 and 5 will get you around. It's okay to have low numbers because failures are okay too.
Okay. For that one though, for what I've devoted to, then I think it'd make more sense to make that the 5.
Yeah, 5 is right about. What I can do is just give you a quick idea of like what these ops actually mean. Should be listed here. So.
Oh, when I do the picking, I get to choose 9 skills or devote 9.
You got 9 points basically.
9 points. Okay, so the Lore Mouse would be 2 of those 9.
No.
Oh, so
9 skills.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
if I pick
same
Lore
makes
Mouse,
me
that's
4.
1. Okay.
Yep. Your Lore Mouse is 1, but you get 2 on it. You get 2 doesn't do anything really.
Oh, okay.
2 dice versus like a regular op 4. It's like you have to use 2 dice and roll 4 successes.
Oh, on a 2. On a...
With 2 dice, you have to roll 4 successes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
All
which
right.
is impossible,
Yeah.
but there are ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, you can get an additional help from her. That's an extra dice.
Okay.
You might be able to link one of your wises, which we'll get into in a second. That's another dice. So that's 4 dice then.
Right.
So that's 4 dice to get an op. An op 4 means you have to get 100% of the dice. There's also things called Fate Persona, which you can spend to give yourself additional dice or to reroll 6s.
Okay.
So there's other ways you can manipulate your dice rolls to sort of make it successful. That's all part of the game, which I'll get into when we get closer to the end of. And if you don't have a skill, you'll always use your beginner's luck. If it's something physical, it's going to use health. If it's something, social or mental, it's going to use will.
Oh.
And other level ups are sort of like at the end of a season. So a season is not end of seasons, or end of a year. So if you make it to winter, generally you don't do a whole lot during winter. Because you usually just bucker down, but you usually get up, you get promoted, and you get your new traits and stuff during winter. The winter is good and bad. It's bad because it's the most brutal of all seasons. So if you're ever having to do a mission during winter, it's troublesome.
Oh. Okay.
It's pretty much like if you were sent on a mission, it's either they completely trust in your capabilities of surviving, or it's a suicide mission and you're probably gonna die.
Right.
It is horrible because everything like winter just affects everything negatively. Yeah, there was a little thing in here which told you like what each op sort of stand for, but I think 5 was sort of like you were a master at it, and 1 was like you were pretty much like
Yeah, that's right.
Right. 3 was like an everyday task, so if it's an op 3, it's sort of like it's an everyday thing, 4 is like you're a little bit, you're making a master craft of something, and 5 is like you're doing awesome. 6 is like if you're trying to do something like kind of difficult.
Oh, okay.
7 is almost near impossible, and 8 is like it goes right up until 10. So I'm sure it's right on here. And we're almost done, by the way.
Okay.
It's just the final couple of sheets here.
I'm wondering, dividing between fighter and healer.
Yeah, healer gets rid of conditions.
Okay.
Alright, so injured and injured, sick. You can use healer.
The harder to get rid of
Yeah.
conditions. Okay.
Yeah. And the decreases the ALB by 1, I think. So instead of like an ALB 5 to like an ALB 4 to get rid of. I'm not totally sure. I might be wrong in that, but it says in the back of the cards actually. It's an ALB 4 will test to fight it off. If that test is successful, the illness fades and the condition is deactivated. If the will test fails, the sickness condition remains until the character seeks the attention of a healer.
Okay.
So that sickness will always stick with you until a healer is able to get rid of it. And I think a healer is an ALB 3 to get rid of sickness rather than ALB 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, I think I made my choices. I just want to double check. I put 1 into Lore Mouse.
Yep.
Or, sorry, 2 into Lore Mouse.
Yep.
I chose Hunter twice again, so that put it up to 5.
Yep.
Healer is 2.
Uh-huh.
And I chose Fighter twice, so that puts it up to 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think, is that 9? I think that's 9.
Sounds about right. As long as you're able to count them up.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Little character's got a little bit of everything.
A lot of everything is really good. That's pretty much what you become.
Okay.
You said at the very beginning, you become the versatile one that needs a lot of work.
Okay.
So you'll start leveling up fast, but you'll start focusing on certain things.
Okay, yeah.
Where he's already focused, so his development will go a lot slower unless he starts taking in new stuff.
Okay.
Like, starts going outside the box to do beginner's luck. To learn new tricks.
You can't teach an old mouse new tricks.
No.
And the last thing is, what's your specialty? Each player, except for Tenderpaws, may choose 1. So you don't get to choose any of these. But nobody can have the same specialty. So if we had a group of 4 or 3, nobody can have the same specialty. Everybody's
okay.
Separate. So your specialty is one of those things in the list.
One of those,
the
okay.
left ones. Yeah.
Alright.
So fighter, healer, hunter. Instructor, Pathfinder, Scouts, Survivalist, and Weather Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one, people. So, yeah, specialty can be Fighter, Healer, Hunter. And you get it on a +1, of course.
Oh, okay. I've already put a lot into Hunter.
Your maximum rating is 6, says in the book. But it's only maximum for starting. You can go up higher than that.
Oh, okay.
But your maximum is 6.
I'll put Fighter up to 4.
I don't know why it tells you at the end. Like, why don't it tell you at the beginning?
You get so many.
Well, I've got Fighter 2, Hunter 3. I got one of those. I picked those from you twice.
Don't forget, she got like a huge list, and she got to choose 2 of a bunch of different things.
True.
Yeah.
Where you got to focus upon only that little area right there when you got your 9, right?
Oh, yeah.
So-
I'm just paranoid that I got the numbers wrong.
Yeah, no.
I basically have a lot of knowledge that I've
You're
got
spammed.
from other people, but I haven't tested any of it. Except I think she's going to be a good little weather watcher.
Good.
I think that she's going to know that stuff. Like, that's her thing.
And what's your weather watching at right now?
What?
What's your weather watching at?
It's at 3,
But you can use it.
but I'm going to use it. And,
Cool. And that's the other thing about like this game. It's a living experience game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't use something, it doesn't get better. And if you use something, it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Burning Wheel, same thing.
Okay.
When you use a skill, it gets better because you're using the skill. But if you're not using the skill, it ain't getting better.
Well, it only makes sense, right?
Yes, it does.
And I just picked up my character name, Lady of the Lake in the Arthur.
Okay.
Because she's a little water mouse.
Nice. Alright, little waterlogged
And I think
mouse.
Nivy is cute too.
When everyone else tells your skills, continue on with the questions. What are you particularly knowledgeable about? There are a special subset of skills known as wises. These wises present pure knowledge and experience. You start with the number of checks on the wises in proportion to your rank. You may only spend these checks on wises. Till your wises checks are done, count the number of checks and add by 1. So, Tenderpot only gets 1 wise. Patrol leader gets 4 wises. So here are the wises. There are a ton.
And where do we write these down? On the
Right in your
sheet?
skills.
In the skills?
Yep, they're another skill.
Okay.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yep.
Okay.
These can be used independently, but generally what happens is wises are +1s to your roll.
Okay.
So even though they get a number like a 2, right? That's only if you use wises to find out a particular thing about the wise you're doing.
Okay.
If the wise is relevant to what you're doing, you can add a +1 dice to it.
Okay.
Whether or not it's what number it is, it doesn't matter. If it's, I don't think it matters. Just making sure. No, I don't think it matters on what number your wises are. In Burning Wheel, it does. If you have a wise over 5 or 6, then you add 2 dice instead of 1 when you're doing it.
Okay.
But I think in this game it's 1 throughout, except for the numbers there in case you want to use wise. So really, leveling up wises are not that great. It's best to be versatile, because generally you're not going to be just looking at the particular wises very often.
Right.
Okay. So, here we go. Okay, I don't even know where to start. Name something you want to be wise about, and I'll let you know if it's there. It's a huge list.
Weather things.
Where?
Every.
Oh my god.
Weather things. There is.
They've had to list them alphabetically, like under an A,
Yeah.
there's all the A's, and under the B, there's all the B's.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot. There's no weather-wise.
Is there something with
Yeah, it's just all that kind of stuff. Snow-wise, storm-wise, rain-wise, flood-wise, all that kind of stuff's in there. Lake-wise.
So I only get to pick one?
You want to get to pick one of all these. Forest-wise, frog-wise, raccoon-wise, rebellion-wise, recipe-wise. Some of these you can actually make up your own as well. Pacific Town-wises. The wises of each town also are considered wise, like Lockhaven-wise, Elmos-wise.
You said the rain-wise?
Rain-wise is there, yep. There's also storm-wise.
Okay, I think storm-wise would be better.
See here. Where is the storm-wise there? Thunderstorm-wise. That's it.
Okay. No.
Oh yeah, because it's gotta be Pacific.
Yeah.
That's why. It can't be too general.
That's wise.
Yeah. So you can be rain-wise, thunderstorm-wise, Trap wise, tunnel wise,
I
turtle
think
wise,
rain wise.
mouse wise, mouse guard wise,
Rain wise.
tender paw wise. All the rankings have wises too.
2?
No, you get to choose one.
No, I mean it becomes 2.
Oh, it becomes 2, yeah.
Okay.
Well, considering the hard area I grew up in, what about streetwise?
Streetwise. Interesting idea, but I think you're thinking it wrong.
Really?
Yeah, it's not there. Streetwise is not there.
Where did I first hear the word streetwise?
It's a word, streetwise.
Yeah, it's a real word.
Yeah.
It means like to know like.
No, I mean what
Yeah.
game? I've heard it in a game.
Shadowrun has Streetwise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Streetwise was in Shadowrun the RPG.
Oh, right. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Is there a Samwise?
Yeah, there's a sand.
A Samwise.
Someone knows all about the Lord of the Rings.
A Samwise. Oh my.
Oh, Samwise.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. There's Warwise.
Play me off, Johnny.
Badger wise, Barkstone wise, Bird wise, Blizzard wise. I don't know how to. If you want to take the book and look.
Yeah, I'll have a look at the.
Because there's a ton of wises.
Yeah.
You can make up your own, as long as it makes sense. Streetwise wouldn't really make sense in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially if you were being shady streetwise. But there might be something in there that might fit what you're looking for.
Okay. Crime-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a good one.
Epidemic-wise.
Yeah, there was an epidemic in one of the the legends of the Mouse Guard.
Is there a
Okay.
weasel wise?
Oh my.
There is Weasel Wise.
There is. Yes, there is. Weasel-wise.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, there is a Weasel Wise.
There's a wild mouse-wise.
Yeah.
They're wild mice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys are the only simple mice in forever.
Wow.
Everyone else is wild.
That
You're the
is
only
so
ones that are not
nice.
wild. Yeah, so you'll meet wild mice, bandits, and stuff like that.
You know what? If I'm... Why you...
I'm poking at you, I'm trying
You
to
want me to
tell
pick Weasel-wise?
Get weasel wise!
But wild mouse-wise... That's like if I'm the type that's going out into the frontier...
Then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Talk
Probably
to
means
the
that you
crazy
have
old
meat.
hermits about where the good stuff is growing, like which rock ledges that nobody else is foraging around in,
Yeah.
that hasn't been trampled on by anything big or.
And then my character can say, wild mice. Have you ever seen one of them?
Seen one? Would you like to meet one?
Would you like to meet one?
Oh, I don't know.
And then I'll go booga booga booga.
Oh
Gonna pick wild mouse wise. What would tall grass wise be like?
no. Tall grass wise?
Like things that lurk in the tall grass,
Or hiding in the tall grass?
hiding in the.
Or know how to path your way through tall grass?
Mm-hmm. And that would. Oh,
That would always be a question. If you had Pathfinder, you'd be like, well, is it tall grass? It's like, yeah, that's why you need to dig through. It's like, great, I have an extra dice.
Trap wise.
Trap wise, yeah.
For a hunter?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
that can be a trap. That can be either kind of trap, too. It could be like a setup.
Yeah. Trap wise.
That's great. Well, I'm really growing attached to your character, Scott. I picture him as like some ratchety old soldier.
You want to meet a wild mouse? We'll catch one.
One of these traps. Oh my. Yeah, the wild mice. Though, like, so mice that have, like, wild mice generally have a lot of, like, they can be one or the other. They can be the ones that hit 7 or the ones that hit 1. So you could have, like, the really mousy ones that can't speak and they kind of, like, hide around in packs of their own type or whatever. Or you can actually have one which are, like, a band of bandits that are, like, ransacking the town. Right?
Now, how would they be near a human?
Yeah, so if they're human, like if they become ones, then they're outlaws.
Okay.
People don't like them because they're way too human-like.
Okay.
So they act out of like greed and selfishness.
Oh.
And aggressive.
And aggressive.
Yeah. So they become not really evil, but they become selfish and aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess we're not even past character creation.
I know, it's so interesting.
Shortages wise.
Mm-hmm.
He is a hoarder.
Mm-hmm. And it is my job to...
Especially considering that you're going to have me.
Oh God! If you give a mouse a cookie,
Come with a bunch.
yeah. If a mouse takes a cookie, it gets an arrow in the ass.
It's funny too because if you look at your character, like if you think about your character, like in D&D, you usually get a bag with a whole bunch of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, you have like you get your cloak, you get your weapon. Adventure time. It's like you might get some tools. Like it's basically if you're going to be carrying like a little hammer or something like
Oh,
a
okay.
hammer or something like that, right? Or carpentry or something like that. But you don't come with like a stack of wood, right? To build like a catapult.
One more. Wild mouse wise, trap wise, wild country wise.
Wild country. It's right there.
Oh.
That's so cool!
That's where all the bears and shit are.
Could that be a possible foraging spot, like for?
Okay, so this place here,
Mm-hmm.
Wolf's Point, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're like the rats. So they're like the rugged mice that like have to deal with wolves all the time next to the scent border, right? So they're pretty rough at it.
Okay.
So going out into the to the wild country is generally the death sentence.
Right.
They did that to the guy who betrayed himself as the Black Axe. I don't remember his exact name, but they sent him off to I think they sent him off to the wild country. So he left the scent border, and then all you see is in the wild country when they sent him off was just like peering eyes in the black, watching him walking in. So you already knew like when he was, exiled from the mouse territories.
Yeah, there was no hope for him.
There was no hope, right?
That's what they do to mice in St. John's. Sell them to my apartment.
Where your cat gets them?
Yeah,
Or Gary gets them?
Any mouse in my apartment would not have a chance within seconds. There was actually a mouse snuck in once through the fireplace, and I found the mouse an inch from the fireplace. And I think the cat I don't know how the cat killed the mouse because there wasn't a mark on it. Perfect condition, just like as if almost like the mouse had a heart on a cat. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Snow wise looks interesting.
We're gonna be starting off in spring, but seasons change pretty quickly.
Right.
And weather is my thing.
Well,
is it?
snow-wise is not really. I mean, if you had to truck a lot during winter, then it might be a good thing for
Oh,
you, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Because then anytime you have to deal with against snowy conditions, then as long as snow is part of the obstacle.
Now, do we get more of these as we go by?
Wises?
Yeah.
Every year you get a wise and a trait.
Okay.
So during the middle, so as soon as when winter hits, so when winter comes, you instantly either get a promotion, because promotions happen during winter too. You get a wise and you get a trait during winter. It's written in there. Like, so when I do the winter thing, it's not the first thing that happens, mind you. It's the first thing that happens if you guys are actually at Lockhaven when when winter hits, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, it's whenever you guys head back to Lockhaven or whenever you're in that area.
Now, I see here on my sheet it says under name, age, home, it says fur color.
Yeah, that'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay, so that's not just randomly.
Oh no, there's selections for it. Fur color can actually determine like your rarity and such, and I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
You good?
Nightwise was the other one I picked.
Nightwise, that's pretty good.
That sounds
Now,
good.
even though it's Nightwise wouldn't help you out in situations where, like for instance, it might help you out in Scout, right?
I don't have Scout.
Well, I know what I mean though, right? Like Nightwise, but like if you're like, I don't know, if you're like at a bar and you're brewing in a bar with lights and you use Nightwise because it's nighttime and you brew,
okay.
you don't get the bonus, right? It has to make logical sense that Nightwise makes it, sense
Okay.
when you're using it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're away from camp
Yeah.
and dusk
you
falls.
you hear something and you're like, well, I want to go see what that is. People you scout and or pathfind during the night and you get an extra dice, right?
Okay.
That kind of stuff, right?
Or make an attack during the night, or
Right, so
find
anything-
something.
Yeah, anything
In the
that's
dark, yeah.
in the dark, yeah.
Okay.
Basically. Not in the dark, at
At
night.
night, right?
Yeah, because some people say that too. They're like, "Well, I'll go underground. Doesn't Nightwise help me out?" It's like, not
okay.
really.
Right.
That's tunnel wise. Right?
So specifically for things that
Outside at night.
out at night. Okay.
Yeah, so camp and stuff. So guard resources. Resources represent your guard's pay, but also how resourceful and clever the mouse is for possessions of material goods. Your character's base resources is determined by his rank. Tender paws are 1, patrol leaders are 4. The following 6 questions modify that score. So your resources are 1, yours is 4.
Okay.
And answer the following questions.
Okay, where's this on the sheet?
Resources?
Resources, yeah.
Or it's probably up by your health. Up?
Oh, found it.
Yeah.
Where'd you?
Under abilities in the right hand corner.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was on top somewhere.
Alright.
Yeah. It's another one that has the number and I think, is it? Or no.
Under rating.
It should be rating, yeah.
Okay.
So so right now you start off at 4, you start off at 1. She starts at 1. In winter, now by the way, you have to go by the answers you already given, alright? So keep that in mind. In winter, do you still practice a trade like weaving, smithing, or pottery for the guard?
Cartographer, as a cartographer, they wouldn't be able to travel around, would they?
That's not a trade though.
It's not a trade? Okay, then no.
Okay, good. And you? You practice the trade during winter.
The trade that I was.
A trade.
A trade.
You practice a trade. One of the ones that you have. Weaving, smithery, or pottery.
Hang on. Weavery, smithery, or pottery.
A trade like weaving. It could also be stonemasonry, or probably not actually. More like anything you can make in trade. Smithing, armor, anything like that. If you don't have it, then probably not.
Yeah, the only thing I can.
Well, let me tell you this.
That changes things, doesn't it?
If you do choose it, like if you do choose that you're doing a trade, you get +1 to your resources. However, you cannot take the leadership skill because you're too busy. So instead of training to be a leader, you're trading food.
Okay.
Training. So either you're training or you're trading.
I'm trying to think of what fits more into skills I already have.
Yours would be training, because that is what he does.
Maybe he's using
As an instructor.
Maybe we're using an instructor, but it's not really a trade, so that'll be something like training. Okay, so we'll just so nobody's resources goes up.
Okay.
That one. Are your parents smiths, politicians, merchants, or aperists? If so, increase your resource by 1. Your parents must be noted. Your parents must be noted trade, and may not be in the guard. So, is either of your parents smiths, politicians, merchants, or aperists?
No. Harvesters? No.
Nope. All right. Then no resources go up there.
He's going to be pole.
Do you like? Well, it's not really poor. It's also your craftiness, right?
Okay.
So, do you like to buy gifts for yourself and for friends?
No.
Okay, good. Are you thrifty?
No, thrifty. Thrifty means spending a lot, doesn't it?
No.
Thrifty is the opposite.
Yeah,
Thrifty is the opposite. Oh, okay.
Thrifty means like look for sales and shit like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was thinking of frugal.
Yeah.
Yes, thrifty.
Okay. If you're thrifty, increase your resources by 1. You may not take the generous trait.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got the generous trait, so.
You do have generous?
Yep.
Okay, you can't take it.
I do not, so I go up to 5.
So you buy gifts for your friends.
You buy gifts from me to make up for it.
I give away food.
Give me food and I throw it in the stores.
Have you ever been in debt? Or have you generally been bad with money?
I'm in a position to
Be in debt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Okay. Nothing happens there. Do you always pack carefully on a journey, ensuring you have everything that you need?
Yes.
If you do, increase your resources by 1. You may not take bold or fiery traits.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So your resources, I think, is 2.
okay.
Your resources, I think, is 5.
If it started at 4,
Yeah.
I got 6.
6, because you took what?
The
Thrifty.
thrifty and
And the last one.
the last one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's 6. Okay.
So that means mine will be. What, you start off at 2?
You should have a 1 for you. So yours
Start
never.
at
So yours.
one.
Yeah,
I started off.
you only chose the only one you chose to go up to get +1 point was the last one, which
Yeah.
was you carefully packed for a journey.
Okay.
Oh, yes, carefully.
Guard circles. The circle's ability represents how well you're connected your character is. Tenderpaws start with circles of 1. Guard might start with circles of 2. Patrol guard and patrol leaders start with circles of 3. Guard captains start with circles of 4. Answer the following and modify your questions. The minimum rating for a circle is 1.
Patrol leader starts with 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your guard mouse gregarious? Does he have lots of friends? Does he make friends easily?
I'm going to say yes because she's nice and she
If you
gets.
answer yes to one of these questions, increase your circles by 1. You may not take the bitter or jaded traits.
No.
I would say that I am least trusting and more selectable with.
Okay, so you're not gregarious.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have strong ties to the guard? Perhaps a family tradition or allies within the guard?
No.
But it kind of helps you weed out your character a little bit.
Yeah.
Was your family like a guard mouse? Or are you like trying to overcome the class system?
I would say that it was something that I aspired to.
Okay, so we'll just
So no.
yeah. If you did choose it, one of your parents have to be in the guard.
Oh, that wouldn't make any sense.
Has your character accomplished some great task in the guard? Does he already have a reputation? And what is it? Didn't you say something about you were like doing archives and stuff? So, was there any epic thing that happened during the Weasel War that gave you a reputation? Maybe even a nickname?
Maybe even what?
Maybe even a nickname? You're a great hunter, right?
Yeah.
How about hunting abilities ever come into like the great need that earned you like a reputation? Or did you stay low all the time? You kind of keep another radar.
I would say my character is predisposed towards that anyway, but that something did happen that...
So he doesn't really like people calling him a certain name, a certain nickname, but people call him that.
Well, when you mentioned Archer,
Yeah.
I immediately flew to Sagittarius. But that wouldn't...
Well, what kind of thing did you do, you think? It doesn't have to be meant positive, it can be negative. Could even be the old grump. Right? You could have like a reputation, like as in like somebody has like the grumpy old mouse or whatever you want to call yourself, right?
What is the capacity of the technology for
Medieval.
this one? Medieval? Would they use like burning oil and...
Sure. They do actually. I
Okay.
think it's burning oil. Yeah. I think it's burning like honey or something like that.
Oh,
I'm not sure
okay.
what it is, but it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Honey especially.
Oh my god.
Sticks to you.
I would say that a tactic that I used... Okay, here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
There was a siege.
Yeah.
Weasels against
Sure.
mice.
We're not on Lockhaven or outside Lockhaven?
I would say in Lockhaven.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The vats to douse the siege engines for the siege engines for the weasels were malfunctioning, so I used my my archery skill in order to pick off the two
Levers?
yeah, to destroy
The manual ones, because the two guys were like got pinned down through spears, and they're like, oh no, look, they're injured, and they can't get to it, and you're like, bing, and the bats came down.
destroy the mechanism.
Yeah.
However, the moment I did that, there were already members of the Mouse Guard who had begun to flank the weasels.
Oh no.
It wasn't enough. I mean, if they were basically there to buy time, they would have died anyway.
Yeah.
But they had to take down as many as possible. But in the course of that, this burning oil not only killed the weasels, but also members of the Mouse
Okay,
Guard.
that's terrible.
Oh, nice. So
That is
what's the
terrible.
nickname you're given then?
Mr. December.
Mr. December?
Yeah.
No, but people
Also for the one of the worst months of the year in winter.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So you.
not much of a fan of that one.
Well, that's okay.
But it was seen as a cold-hearted act by many. But me acting on, I mean, I knew that nothing was. That everybody higher up was saying it. They're going to breach the walls. They're going to break.
Yeah,
they're going to slaughter everyone.
It was like a split-second decision. Either you make it or break it kind of deal.
Yeah, because I mean that was enough to break the attack.
Right. Cool. Well, it was pretty vivid.
But of course, obviously, that wrecked my reputation with many people.
Yeah. So you've got probably some people that don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do get an enemy, so we'll have to make up an enemy. Probably somebody who got burnt from the oil but didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
I think that's a good one.
Or maybe it was somebody higher ranking, somebody who.
Who doesn't like? Well, we'll get to the enemies.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. That's another section. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm going to go through it. Does your character have powerful enemies in the territories?
Yes.
if you say yes, reduce your circles by 1.
Oh God.
I say that there will be people in the guard that will want to have ousted you for screwing up.
Oh yeah. So he
Or
went
like
up and
for,
went
like,
down.
Half, like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Because that's one of those subjective things.
It
Either you
is.
completely screwed up, or you're like a completely calculating leader,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
It's either it depends upon your perception, that one, your point of view.
Yeah.
But you went 3, so you went up 1, but you had a reputation. And and you went down 1 because of your enemy.
Oh, okay, so I'm back at 3.
You're back at 3 again. Yeah. Do you have any powerful enemies?
No,
No.
it's a nobody.
All right.
What are you doing?
Has your character been convicted of a
She's only
crime?
14.
Has your character been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You
She
used to steal stuff?
a pie.
You used to steal pies? Food?
No,
Simple
she
Simon.
got stole. No, she got caught stealing a cookie,
Caught stealing a cookie.
and that would have been bad stuff. Like,
You're in drought? You got caught stealing food during, like, winter?
yeah,
During a drought? Someone else's food?
yeah.
Alright, cool.
Like are there markets and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Decrease your circles by 1. It can't be 0, so minimum is 1. But I think you only have 1, so.
Or I don't know. No, I take that back. I
Okay.
don't want her to be bad. I
Okay.
don't want her to be even remotely bad.
Okay, sure. Alright. Next is your character a loner, tough, or cool?
Oh, what if I was not convicted of?
Oh.
Does that change it?
No, it doesn't change anything.
Okay. All right.
It only goes down.
Okay. All right.
Is your character a loner, tough, or cool?
No.
Either or all 3.
A loner, tough, and cool, it says here. But
Loner, tough, and cool. I would say yeah. Given that, I mean.
Sure. If so, reduce circles by 1. You may not take the extrovert trait.
Extrovert? Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
So your circles are 2. So you're not well liked.
No,
You're not well known.
This is going to be funny.
I'm well known, but hated by a lot.
A lot of people don't really want to help you.
It's pretty much like split down the
Yeah,
middle.
when you roll circles to find somebody, because you basically tell me this, because circles is your way of creating characters, NPCs. Because you tell me an NPC that you're looking for,
Okay.
and then you roll your circles.
Right.
And then if you win, you get to make up the person's name, their personality, everything about them, and then they become a staple in the game, right? However, if you fail your circles, I can give you a twist like normal, a condition like I normally would, and let you do your thing.
Okay.
Or also, you can use the thing called the enemy clause, which means I either activate your enemy or create a new one.
Right.
Oh my heavens. Okay.
So it's fun. Right?
I'll just rely on the crazy mice because they.
With you only have to make it past it. You only have to, well, yeah. Because in order to upgrade it, remember, it was like the number of passes equal to the number minus 1 for the failures. So, I mean, it's really easy to level up your circles as long as you can make it pass, right? So, go for easy things, I guess. Or get help. Don't forget, every time you get help, you get an extra dice. And if you have wises related to it, it's another dice. And your persona and your fate will actually help you get it as well. Okay, so mice traits. All mice get 1 from the list. They can reinforce the one from their hometown if available, or pick something new. There's Big Paw, Bitter, Bodyguard, Bold, Brave, Calm, Clever, Compassionate, Kind.
Jason, can you repeat that?
Yeah.
I was totally off in
There-
space just then.
Oh, you get another trait, guys.
Okay.
And these are the traits on this side where my thumb is.
Oh.
There's a shitload of them.
You have a look first.
So you can level up your trait that you already have, or if it's there, or pick a new one. Yeah. Quality you were born with. If you don't know what the area, I can look them up for you. But I think Big Paw is like, you have big hands. But I think it makes you a little more clumsy. Which are all narrative based, right? Because you don't have to narrate that you're clumsy. You don't really have to. But if you do, during a vital search situation, you can get checks. During the player's turn, right?
Okay.
Okay, hang on. What's innocent?
Innocent? I'm pretty sure it is what it is. Alright. Is that actually there? Was that actually innocent?
It's 10 after 11.
Is there?
I mean, it's 10 after 9.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll just do character creation today. That way you guys can get on your way. You say innocent?
Yeah.
Yeah, character creation is really long. Is it even there?
Here.
Oh.
Character you were born with, innocent.
Oh, image.
What are your circles?
2.
Innocent mice have an honesty and simplicity about them that makes requests difficult to deny. However, they're often naive to the true nature of the world.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So, innocent.
The opposite of that, I guess, would be wise, wouldn't it? Or would it be skeptical?
Skeptical is there, yeah. Suspicious. Skeptical is, oops, shit. Mice always are watching, skeptical mice are always watching for lies and deceit, a good quality. It can also go too far when skeptical thinks even truthful people are liars.
What about wise?
Wise. Wisdom is a rare thing in this day and age. Many mice are quick to judge and don't remember the lessons of the past. This mouse carries wisdom with him that helps him see the truth and what's right.
I'm gonna go with wise.
Wise? Sure.
That goes under skills, right? Or does it
Traits.
Traits.
Sorry, it's a trait. Yeah.
Wise. I'm skillfully wise.
Nice.
I really like these sheets.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really like how
It has
they're
all the rules on it.
organized. I know. I
You don't
really
even need
like
the
that.
book for most part. All the rules are on it.
Yeah.
Choose something you've learned or inherited from your parents. This list is for Tenderpaws only.
Uh-oh.
Take a list. So this is something. These are all physical things or things that you learn. So it's right here. Where my thumb is.
Okay.
You get to learn another one, or you can upgrade one of your traits.
Okay.
And then you get life on the road, I think. Yeah. So you always know where you are, kind of thing. Oh yeah, your face is elongated. You can smell really good, but people might make fun of you because you have a long nose.
It was a bit generous.
Okay, I can look that up for you.
Okay.
No,
it's
it's in the book.
The way this book is done is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a little confusing though. But it's, oh my god, is it in comparison to the Burning Wheel books? It's so much better. I can't find shit in the Burning Wheel books. I keep referring to it because Burning Wheel is what this game was kind of based off of.
Right.
Generous mice are always seem to have something to give to others, even if it means going without. That means like, oh, sure, you can have this, even though you're like, well, I need that too, but hey. Sure. There you go. Sure,
Yeah,
I'll get that
description
shit.
and all.
Sure, you bet. And like I said, these are all narrative based, so it's not really,
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of like mechanics involved with it. Natural bearings. Quite the opposite of lost mice. Those with natural bearings always seem to know where they are. They also tend to have a wanderlust that makes them uncomfortable to stay in cities for too long.
Yeah.
Much like your original character.
Yeah. Like whose original character?
Like your Dungeon World character.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Raid.
I think that has something to do with
Fine. So that's what you have? Alright, life on the road. Well, you have a different set of traits there in the bottom, but some of them are interesting. Most of them are like bitter and jaded, but hey. Skeptical. on the road, you know, when you see all this shit flying at you.
Look up compassionate.
Compassionate, sure. Well, can you what?
Is the minimum for this 2 players plus?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
You can do one. You can do one GM, one person. The disadvantage to it though is they won't get helpers, so helping dice won't be an option for them.
Okay.
So it is best in pairs of 3.
Okay.
However, it is totally supports one-on-one. There's actually a set of rules in here for one-on-one. It's slightly different. Basically, you sort of make them have like an apprentice or somebody that's working with them.
Okay.
And you have to be very elaborate on their personality because they have to be just as much as the main character. Compassionate mice are able to see and understand a problem from their opponent's point of view. This is a great benefit in many situations, but often makes the duty difficult when ruthless actions are called for.
That sounds exactly like what you're describing.
Yeah, compassionate.
Yeah. So hey, you can see from all the point of views, but when you have to do something a little cold-hearted, it's kind of like.
You see the need for it, but
being someone on the receiving end of accusation.
Yeah.
That would make me very sympathetic towards people who are more downtrodden than others.
If you have a problem finding a name, there's a list of names here.
Oh no, I'm sticking with mine.
You got a name as well?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And that goes under traits as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So nobody leveled up their traits this time around, but they have the time based on how many sessions we play. Right, so.
Okay.
Next is fur color. Choose a fur color of your mouse. Brown is the most common, followed by blonde and gray. Black and white are uncommon, and red is the most rare. So this basically gives you an idea of like your standoutness, right? So if you're a rare mouse, then you'll probably stand out when somebody sees you. If you're more of the common ones, then it won't be a talk. It won't be something that people will talk about, right?
I'm going for red.
You're going for red?
Yeah. Because my reputation.
Well, maybe red. Maybe that's the reputation of red mice around here.
Yes. Oh my God! It's just like in the UK. Racism against gingers. Man.
What'd you say the common ones were?
Brown and brown is most common, followed by blonde and gray. Black and white are uncommon.
Okay.
Just like real life.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be gray.
Gray, okay. You're a gray mouse.
That's funny because the runt in Mouse Guard, the youngest one, he's red.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's the Saxon.
Yep, Saxon.
Oh, and he's fiery and doesn't think at all. I think in this game, one of his beliefs was like the answer is always the best answer is always at the point of my sword.
Yeah.
All right, so he's very much like really fighty, and he's the shortest. It's awesome. Parents, you decided where you were born. You decided what you learned from them, and inherited from your parents. Now it's time to put a name on them. Choose an appropriate name and write them on your character sheet. If you need, this is why the list of names are there, in case you need names for everything else.
Okay. Alright,
so you can just give your last name on them, or you can give them a full name. It could be like Mr. and Mrs. whatever if you wanted to. Right. Okay, we're good.
Who's the porter, Scott? Who was the poet? Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner?
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Oh, that was Coleridge. Samuel Taylor Coleridge.
And next is senior artisan. What is the name of your senior artisan who you apprentice it with? Name him and note him on your character sheet.
The mentor, you mean?
Nope. The senior artisan.
Oh, his name.
Don't forget, these are, like I said, these are characters that are going to be coming up again.
Okay.
Might need help for them. If they're a trade, you might have to ask them for a favor. That kind of stuff, right? You always know where these people are. Usually, right? Like if they were kidnapped, something like that. But you know where they would be to the most, right? So asking for help is always good. They may be out on a mission and stuff too. But meeting them on the road is really good because they'll always help you out.
Okay.
A male name?
Oh, she's saying a surname.
Oh, a surname.
Are you talking with character name?
Yeah.
Or dad? Oh.
Who would be like kind of like a old like seaman, like a.
Well, we got Tander, Salone, Throm, or Tom. That's right. Trevor, Vidar, Wallmound, Jasper, Cole, Nolan, Fulker.
Oh, I know exactly. Bartlett.
Bartlett, yeah.
After
Bob Bartlett.
Bob Bartlett.
Put a lot of thought into this, don't you? After non-existent Bob Bartlett. That's the human sailor, you know.
Do you know Bob Bartlett? He's from he's a famous sea captain from Brigus. He's famous for polar exploration.
Oh yeah.
And he would bring like the polar explorers.
Oh really?
And he brought Robert Perry to the North. Actually went to the North Pole, or almost to it, with Robert Perry.
Holy crap. So after the senior artisan's named, we go to mentor. You've already got your mentor done.
Yeah.
But you got to make up a mentor name.
Yep. Oh, hang on. The senior artisan. Can I look at the female names?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Character creation is long.
Yeah.
But you got a pretty good feel for your character now. After that, you think?
Yeah, I really do.
We have to do all this stuff. Belief, goal, instinct,
Oh yeah,
context,
that's
feeling.
coming up.
I like Autumn.
Autumn? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And don't forget you got a mentor as well. Did you want to book again?
Now the mentor
Yeah.
would be for my main thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, your mentor could be alive or dead, but I mean, the more people are living, the more help you can get and more interactions. But if you're dead, you can put a story on them, like how they died or if it was...
Oh no, you know what? I know.
Keats. So what we have left is we got a friend, an enemy, we got cloak color, first mission briefing, and then belief.
No.
So I'm going to give you the briefing for your first mission, and then we'll throw your beliefs, goals, and instincts in here. And I think that's how we do it, right? First, the hardest part's coming up.
Okay.
So far everything's been easy, but it actually...
Okay. So we're just giving names at this point for friend and enemy, are we?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more than that.
Alright.
We have to invent I was just waiting for her to come back.
Oh, okay.
We invent a character who's a friend to your guard mouse. Someone who will help your character without hesitation. Choose a name for him and pick a profession or specialty and place him on the map near one of the towns or cities.
Oh, okay.
You know, if it's a traveling one, you can always say you travel through these certain areas usually, so you might come across him at some point, but he might also not be there. So it's one of those things, right? And enemies are interesting, but right now it's good just to stick with the one. So the next thing we do, we invent a character as a friend for your mouse guard, someone who you can rely on and without hesitation, somebody that would help you. You choose a name for that person, and then pick their profession or specialty, and write it next to their name.
Okay.
And then you place them on the map, somewhere that they're from. Choose a town. It could be one of the big towns, or it could be one of the small, which will actually kind of help me in coming up with an idea for your mission. Actually, I might just make up something of my own if we're not playing tonight.
Okay.
So then I will actually have a.
Get out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like yeah.
Yeah, I know that the what do you call it? Game with the Dungeon World one, we didn't go out much of that.
Oh, I didn't pick all this
Tracking stuff to be stuck in the city the whole
Don't
time.
worry, you don't get stuck in a city in this game.
Okay.
It's not Blackmore.
No.
It just so happens all the stuff happens in the city. That's all.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think that there's different kinds of players too. Like I'm less a political intrigue player. Does that mean that I'm all like a dungeon crawler? Not necessarily either, but I'm more of a quest character, like a quest player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This game is good for that.
Yeah.
You'll be given quests and figuring out results. There's a bit of political stuff in here too, but that really goes towards.
Oh, I know all about politics of situations. It's
Yeah.
like
He's a great political player.
It gets interesting, especially when you have enemies. So you said you make, what's your friend's name?
Larkin.
And where's he located though?
He's located in Ironwood.
Okay. What's his profession or specialty?
Soldier. He gave testimony for me.
Oh, was he a guard mouse or was he just like a?
He was right there. He witnessed.
Oh, so he's another guard mouse? Or is he just a soldier of the town?
No. Well,
Was he guard mouse and then quit, retired, became another soldier? Or?
I would say an injury after the siege caused him to go into retirement.
Right, but now he's just like a part-time soldier for a mining town.
Yeah.
A smaller mining town of Ironwood.
Yeah.
Because Copperwood is big. It's a big mining place. And Ironwood's like a smaller place.
Oh, I would say he does part-time work as a
Security guard.
watchman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sits down, and maybe he's got like problems sleeping during the night.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's like, well, what better thing to do than to sit down and have an old yawn and play the harp or whatever it is while he watches it or whatever he does. I don't know. Have a little snack.
Yeah. He's walking the streets at night, relaxing. There's not a whole lot happening, but I mean,
Yeah, and how about you?
My friend is Mimi the mead maker. She's like
She's a brewer.
She's a brewer. She's an older lady.
Yeah.
She knows all of the stories. She knows all the weather.
She's like a
lore.
tavern person.
Yes.
Tavern owner.
So, and we're like a port town. I imagine that.
Oh,
there's lots of
she's actually looking at
sailors.
your hometown?
Yeah, Port Sumac.
Oh, wow.
So,
And where's your parents located to?
Port Sumac.
Wow, so all your contacts are in Port Sumac.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem. That
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
So she knows basically like she lives in the port.
Yeah.
And everyone she knows is there, but Mimi is a friend of hers and goes there to hear Mimi's story.
That works.
Yeah.
If I do find a third player for the next time, I'll probably do a character creation with them, and then let you know the details.
Okay.
Because this is gonna be a little bit more casual than the podcasters or listeners are used to.
Right.
Because I'm welcoming new people in and out. Usually I don't. Usually I'm very much like whoever starts the podcast ends the podcast. And if people drop out, then that's okay, but we can't add new people in.
right.
But this, we're doing a very casual format, so it's okay to add and subtract.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've got another one running too on top of it. So.
Okay.
And the next thing is enemy. So everybody has an enemy. You don't get a choice. Invent a character who is an enemy to your guard mouse. It is preferable that the enemy is a mouse, not another animal. Choose a name for him or her and give that person a profession or specialty, then place them on the map. Your enemy can be from your days in the guard, or from your time of service, or it could be from anything. Past, could be before your service. It's preferable that permissible for the players to choose a common enemy.
What a common and
Yeah, so like it's okay if you guys chose the same enemy.
Oh.
okay.
If it's relevant. I guess you got one of the guard mice.
Yeah.
Is it one of the guard captains?
Yes, I'm thinking more higher ranking.
Or guard captain is the highest rank.
It is the highest. Okay.
Next to Gwendolyn. They're basically the royal guard for the Gwendolyn rank.
Okay, then he is a.
I see.
And his name's Longfellow.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he's right in Lockhaven.
Wow. Right there.
Right in the smack of it.
Where you guys start to?
What was that?
Oh, he's the enemy because he totally disapproves of what happened.
Yeah.
I would say he. I would say it was his tactics that.
It was his idea to flank.
It was okay.
Because he would be the one who's telling the soldiers what to do.
Yeah.
Unless it was before his days of guard captain. But
Yeah.
maybe this is what he was looking for promotion.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, if I tell him to do this, we could beat the rebels and.
Yeah, and in order to, because I mean, if he ordered the.
Oh, maybe we should choose
troops.
another patrol leader, and he never got promoted because he blames the fact that he could have, but his flank failed because of your thing, and he blames you for it. So he never ever got a promotion, so he's bitter about it.
Yeah, it could be that.
Or yeah.
Well, I was thinking if it was somebody higher up,
Yeah.
and they had directly given that order for the mice to flank, if I caused the deaths of those people, then
right.
it would remove blame from him completely for ordering that attack in the first place and place it all on me. But of course, there were people who testified for me who said that if Longfellow had not ordered this to begin with,
they wouldn't have been
place.
there. Oh, so there's a bit of a controversy between there.
Yeah. So
who was in the wrong?
Yeah, there are basically people who...
He's trying to blame you for it now.
Yeah. And because there are people who believe that he was in the wrong for doing that, there are people who support him, obviously, because he's
giant rank.
Yeah.
I mean, Gwendolyn might support him a little bit, but I mean, she's got to be unbiased, right?
Mm-hmm. But I would believe that Larkin would indeed be somebody who laid blame directly on Longfellow for the deaths of those people, not for what I did.
Nice.
In protecting the city. So
cool. That's good. And what did you say again?
I'm pulling a blank.
The enemy. You said it was. Got an enemy to you.
Yeah.
Well, would it be a certain person that a rival maybe? Another individual who. I don't know, maybe there's somebody who looks at you as an innocent individual and wants to perhaps use that to their advantage, in a bad situation, or
if you've come under my tutelage, there be anybody who would?
Yeah, would somebody not like you because you're becoming a guard mouse? Would it be a person that is trying to become a guard mouse before you are? I don't know.
Can we have it that maybe some things conspired that Longfellow's son got put under your tutelage with me?
I wouldn't take Longfellow's son as a tutor.
No, but however, Longfellow probably, was saying to his son or to his or maybe not even to his son, but to his tenderpaw or his whatever, he's trying to make him or make that mouse better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show you up all the time.
Yeah. So, and someone who's really just arrogant and thinks that he's just the best and...
And the funny thing is, he doesn't get a tutor like me, because he's not excelling as much as she is. She gets put with the most controversial, but albeit the best for what she wants to become, and he gets one.
Yeah, even make it a son, and be like, yeah, you'll be better than her.
Yeah.
You'll be better than her.
But everybody knows that he's not.
Yeah, and he's really probably a bully, and hates the fact that you're so innocent and whatever, and
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's his name gonna be?
His son's name?
Yeah.
Short fellow. Longfellow and short fellow. No, I don't think
that'll be a good nickname for him.
Oh yes, yes. Short fellow.
So that you may say to him,
yeah,
he might be actually shorter than you.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, hello, short fellow.
Yeah.
It's foiled again.
Milton.
Milton.
Oh my god.
That's an enemy name for you. So Milton is a tenderpaw or a guard mouse? Has he already graduated?
Oh, he's a tenderpaw.
He's a tenderpaw like you. Okay. He never got his cloak yet.
Yeah, and say maybe he's a bit a year older than me or something.
Sure, and he's located in Lockhaven?
Well, wherever I end up.
Yeah, Lockhaven. So, cloak color. You don't get a cloak, so you get a cloak.
Yeah.
Because you graduated. Your mentor gave you a cloak, so you actually eventually give her a cloak.
Okay.
When you feel that she needs to be promoted. On the day that you are officially inducted into the guard, what color is it and why? What part of your personality made your mentor decide that this is the particular color for your cloak?
Are there any suggestions for colors based on?
A little bit here. For Baron, Chris chooses the gold color. He tells the group that his mentor chose this color to reflect Baron's compassions and to the. It could be green cloak because of his amazing abilities. Or
because you would have got it when you were cloaked.
Your mentor would give to you, so whoever your mentor is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and whatever he see you as, right? And don't forget, you would have got this about a year or two after your induction, after being.
Can we start with I'm 14 and I just come in.
Oh yeah.
To work with him, we'll start where.
Sure, it's completely
we'll start on my first day.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a dull green. Yeah, I know, because I'm the same
Liam.
fur color.
Yeah.
And
That's Liam.
oh, that's not Saxon.
That's Saxon.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Liam. That's a dagger he has.
Oh,
It's a big dagger. But Saxon's sword is much skinnier and longer. Liam's
Oh, okay.
dagger is just triangle. Daggers are actually as big as swords, but
Like that name, Liam.
Yeah.
Liam, yeah.
Funny, as a teacher, I've always liked names of students I would have it. And as a kid, because
I think Kenzie's gonna. That's the name of my dribble, Kenzie. All right, cloak colors. Do you have that?
I picked green.
Okay. Oh, green for Hunter. The idea was it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think wisdom or I don't think compassion would be. Although it could be, but
Black.
I think black for.
Black for controversy.
No, I do think the compassion came much with experience.
Okay.
So yeah, the green for the hunter.
Sure. And then your first mission. For this part, I have to say, stop and discuss what's going on in the first mission. And I think the first mission is going to be Gwendolyn asks you to deliver mail to Port Sumac.
oh, that's fun. Okay.
That's the mission.
Okay.
Now, of course, there's all sorts of... That sounds mundane, but it
Yeah,
sure
I can
ain't.
imagine. Yeah, that's right.
Belief. So here's where we do the beliefs and
Oh, it's all the way over there. Holy crap!
Yeah. Beliefs. I might change mail to something else if I can think about it later, but you're going to, like, she sent you to Port Sumac to deliver something.
Okay.
Maybe it's not mail, but maybe it's a message or something.
Okay.
But it might be mail. Brief. Okay. Belief. Write a brief. Write a belief on your character based on how he or she lives his or her role in the guard. A belief can be a overarching ethical or moral stance. Writing a belief is discussed more in Mouse Guard chapter. This is the hardest part of the game. Writing these beliefs, I can tell you, because this is like a big. These are big things. This is what you go for.
Sacrifice the small for the greater good.
Sacrifice the small for the greater good.
Yeah. And the small could be any like. It could be.
Oh, keep in mind, guys, but your beliefs is basically going to determine what kind of things I put you up against, right?
Yeah.
And I would say right now, she's so naive that all these moral and
Behind her eye.
behind her, right behind her.
Flew right over her head.
Yeah, it's behind her. I think basically she right now wants to explore. Yeah.
I'm gonna go sacrifice the small for the greater good. I mean, the small could be a philosophy that I've applied to everything from the honor that was lost because of that act, and of course, the small number of men who may have been injured or killed by my act. It could be even down to the materials that I harvest.
You'll freely give it away? Don't give away your stuff for the greater good?
Or take what belongs to the forest for the great, because I mean it could be that
But you do save for winter, right?
right, but it could be that there was a drought and stuff is now growing as plentifully.
Right, so people should share their goods and not hoard it.
Or knowing what would happen to. Let's just say, I mean, I know it can't alter the ecosystem in any way, but if I took something from a particular trove of growth on one outskirt that may have been a food supply for something, and they die as a result of that, or who knows, other species die as a result of that. If it preserves the guard, if it's put into our stores, then I know that the deaths of those animals won't matter because it'll be back next season.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
a little bit cold in a sense.
Yeah, but that being said, the cycle of life continues on.
Yeah.
Because if it comes down to, if it comes down to
You'll feel bad doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when it comes down to an animal scrounger and the people
of
the
guard.
families
Right.
of the guard, then
Yeah.
you pick the families.
Right.
My character's belief is going to keep an eye to your jib. So in other words, she's very much about being attentive to her surroundings, being aware. She thinks that her way of protecting others is through her like sharp senses, and she's very vigilant. And while she watches,
Is
the
that an
weather
instinct,
and-
or is that more of an ethical stance?
No, it's an ethical stance because like she thinks that because she is vigilant, that she'll be able to like help others by being aware of what's around.
Oh, okay, so she's always trying to, I
Almost
guess,
like intelligence, like kind of like that's why she's.
predict like people's needs before they tell her. Like, oh, I know what you want. You want this. Like, not really, but thanks.
I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking more like she's very vigilant to watch out for dangers
Okay.
for others. So like.
Oh, for others. Okay.
Yeah. So like if there's like that's why she's constantly watching the weather because she knows like collects all this weather lore, and she uses it so that she can help like advise others of when the weather's going to be bad so that they'll take to shelter, right? Or like for example, she's the one that's going to want to stay and do like guard duty late in the night, right? To watch out for if there's any dangers. That's what got her, I think, into the guard.
Okay.
It was she had like a certain amount of wanderlust.
Like the big
but-
sister sort of
Yeah,
feeling.
like kind of like a watcher, like
Okay.
right.
Sure. Okay. Once again, like if you notice that your belief doesn't hit, you just change it. Generally, at the end of every session, you change your belief anyways, your
Okay.
goal. But it's something that you can keep going with, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that's good. So we'll keep that. Write a goal. Your character's goals should be based on the mission you're assigned with. A goal is objectives that you would like to feasibly accomplish in the near future. In the near future, via the actions of your character.
So for us, it's easy. We're going to go to Port Sumac.
That's not good.
We'll write that later.
The goal is that goal is very poor,
Oh,
and I'll explain why in a moment.
but we have to know what we need to do to write it.
Yeah, I gave you the mission. The mission was
Is a goal more a life goal? Like,
it's a goal that you can accomplish within a session.
So our mission will be like to deliver such and such for.
That's your mission, but that's not your goal.
Oh,
Your goal is, like, for instance, your goal could be, I must find the evidence that will determine if the grain peddler is a traitor or not. A goal is, I will protect Kenzie and Liam on this mission.
so
Okay.
it's sort of like the difference between what do you want and how you're
Yeah.
gonna get it.
okay.
It's more like,
Yeah.
here's the mission of what you're going to do. What do you want to do?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is I want to prove that I'm a good little.
A better mouse than short fellow?
No, I don't think that she's got that kind of competitiveness, but I think that she wants to prove that she's going to be a great mouse, a great guard.
I'm just going to read through more goals here. I will discover why Converse communications at Kelgore has stopped. I will show Kinsey and Saxon that I am a valuable member of the patrol.
That's it. I will show that I'm a valuable new recruit.
Sure. But he was a tenderfoot too, so at the time, so that makes sense.
It's only one goal, is it, per session?
Yep.
Okay.
I will ensure that the mail is safely delivered to Elmos, Sprucetuck, and all these other places. I will map our route to Lockhaven.
I want to find out why these documents are so important.
Okay, that's perfect.
And mine is I will prove to my new mentor that I am.
There has to be some adventure behind it, eh?
No, I will prove to my new mentor that I am worthy of his trust.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
See, that's a wicked goal. Then let's go deliver mail.
Yeah.
Right? Because that means that you kind of put yourself into situations now where you want to prove your goal.
Yeah.
Right? And the last thing is instincts. Actually, not quite last, but pretty much last. Instinct. How does your character react? What has your guard mouse been trained to do? Write an instinct for your character. An instinct could be anticipate what the patrol leader needs. This is for two reasons. Let's try. Instincts and beliefs these are all hard to do.
I think I got one.
An instinct is something that you automatically do, whether or not you say you're doing it or not. Here's an instinct. Always consult Saxon when trouble arises. An instinct. Always draw my sword at first sign of danger.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
Instinct. Never delay when on a mission.
Like, she's very jaded in regards to, like, the rich.
Yeah.
Because her father's a boat builder, so he...
And he's not rich. He came from a low class.
Yeah.
He's building himself up. So that's a good pairing.
Yeah, and so...
Never trust the rich, is that what you said?
Yeah, never trust the rich, or never trust the Is there, like, an aristocracy of, like nobles and, like, higher ups, or is it like...
The towns may have it.
Yeah.
Right, the towns may have a class system. Like you said, there's the class system, and it's his place, so yeah, there would be.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, like, her father would have been a boat builder and would have built boats, like big ships and stuff like that for
the richer people.
For the richer people, and she always saw them, like, have their nose up at her father, and all the other
like,
snotty children.
Here's a couple coin.
Yeah,
For your troubles.
Okay, all right.
I'll take my riches upon my boat now and sail off.
Yeah.
Across this pond.
Always look for what is unseen or unsaid.
Oh yes, that's good for yes.
So what's that mean?
It means basically look at both sides.
Okay.
Like, or if somebody says one thing, what are they really?
Okay.
What is behind that? Or if
always see like both sides.
Yeah, and that can even go for in the wilderness.
Okay.
You know, you see something that could be completely inconspicuous, but what exactly does it mean?
Sure.
Or what could that what ill?
Always find the questions. Always find the answers to questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always going to be at the root of things. Like,
Sure.
He's going to be asking lots of questions.
That's fine. That's good. That's good for me. It works. So that was your instincts.
Contact.
Nope. We're going right to gear now.
Gear.
Yep. This is what you get to carry. So other than your cloak, what weapon, not weapons, does your mouse carry? Common choices are shield, knife, sword, staff, spear, hook, and line, halberd, and sling and bow. You can choose anything else, but it has to make sense. One of these things actually have mechanical values. So
What's that hook and line?
that's what Buddy used. In the first comic, he used it against the crabs to come over.
Oh yes, wasn't it a rig up on his arm or?
Nope. It was a fishing line. It was a fish hook and a line, and he used it to battle.
Did he secure it to his belt or? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I don't. It's in this comic somewhere.
It was a piece of cat gut and it was a hook.
Yeah, it was a hook, and he took one of the eyes of the crabs with it, and then flipped the crab over on his back before he got killed.
Yes.
Yeah, and right here is like, see, he has that, like the whole hook right there. It's like a little weapon on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Let's see.
Oh. You can turn the pages. You can see him use it.
Axe, bow, halberd, hook and line.
Yeah, there you go. It's written on your thing. On your next page, it shows you the weapons.
there they are.
Yeah, it's kind of
And it tells you what they do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the sling is just a leather thong. You put the stone in, and you
Maneuver.
Yeah. So anytime you maneuver, you'll get whatever it says.
I guess I'll go with the bow.
Is that it right there?
Oh shit! Then neither one of us are going to have any.
Melee.
Yeah. Then if you're going to have a bow, I'm going to have a melee one.
Yeah. So a sling would give you plus one extra dice when you use maneuver. Keep in mind that it is all dice rolls, so whether or not you're using a sword or an axe or anything like that, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You just, when you narrate it, you're running around using your bow on top of that, right?
You can only carry one weapon.
Yeah, and attack means you're attacking the person's disposition. Defend means you're defending and trying to gain more disposition. Feint means you're trying to trick somebody into doing something and then taking out, basically making them defend, and then like catching them when they're off guard. Maneuver is you're trying to get into a better position in order to do a better attack later.
What does that mean? Special plus 1d to one action.
Where do you see that too?
Under sword.
Oh yes, so sword is the most versatile. Before when the battle starts, you can choose. I'll bring it up here. But before when the battle starts, you can choose like which one of the things you want your extra +1 dice to be on. If you think you're going to be attacking more, then you can put it on attack, and then for the rest of the combat, your attack will get a +1 dice when you use it. The disadvantage is the person who's dealing at the cards against you has an idea that you're probably going to be on the attack.
Okay.
So when you put your attack cards down, he probably got a good idea you're probably going to put your attack cards down. You put your card down.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So then he'll be more defensive. But it's a good way to feint and trick him too if you did it that way, right?
Okay.
So,
Probably be best with a knife. One will go.
yeah, a
with
knife
the
isn't
other.
like that. What he's got there.
It's huge.
Yeah, but that's a knife. But it's big and triangular, whereas a sword is very thin and long.
Okay, no, then
It's twice the size
You
of
go
a
with the
mouse.
hook and line, being the seafaring.
Yeah, I
type?
know. The hook and line kind of makes sense. It's kind of barbaric, but then at the same time, probably also could be practical too.
Yeah, you can kind of like hook someone's leg with it and trip them up with it.
It is a versatile. I mean, you can even use the gacket to tie someone up.
Yeah. Or if you
Yeah.
wanted to, if you didn't want to be that violent, you can always say you like broke off the point on it so that it's hook and trip type deal. But
Or she carries a little cork that she puts on the end.
yeah,
And she doesn't want it to be lethal.
There you go. That's good. Yeah. You can always do that.
It would be great for climbing over things, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's very
It would
versatile.
be very practical. I think I'm going to take that.
Okay.
It goes with her character.
Hook and line. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you can hook it up and then climb up. You can always use it as like a tool to climb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a +1D right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like certain tools, if you can narrate why they're useful, you get pluses to your dice. There's also ways to get automatic successes based on certain type of. It's all. When certain conflicts come up, I'll read it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So far, I'm really impressed by this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And the starting awards, and we're done. So, you got your bow, you got your hook and line.
Yep.
And starting rewards, all characters be in the game with 1 fate point, 1 persona point. Write them on your character sheet now.
One fate.
And they're right in the middle of the first page.
Fate. Okay. One fate.
That's your fate and persona, which are basically the helpful tools of the game.
Oh, okay.
They allow you to do remarkable feats that you should not normally be able to do.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's all the extra
Sixes
stuff.
as new dice.
Yeah, so what
Lots,
happens is, no, it's explosive. So what that means is if you roll 3 6s, you count those as successes, you take 3 more dice and you roll them. If you're rolling more 6s, you take those 6s and you take dice equal to the amount of 6s you rolled again and roll again. You keep going that until you have no more 6s, and each one counts as success.
That's awesome.
Alright, well, and that's the first session of character creation of Mouse Guard. We'll be back playing it next week. If we have another player, I might record it and add it to the podcast, maybe, or maybe not. I might just have him roll up and then give him an explanation of what his character is about. Anyways, that's character creation. Bye. Beep.